last time?
We were fighting in an itty bitty room, nearly died a whole lot, and I said healed up a bit, and we were about to get an explanation. No, no, no. Get back here.
All right.
Trying to go, trying to go over near the yeah, trying to go back by the.
Like following your fight with the guy trying to control the powers of the dreaming pool and the elemental furnace, you were led to the basement of the facility, to a room full of shelves, containing bottles, filled with, what appears to be vapors or mist. At the center of this room is a large well-like structure that the priest will approach and trigger a lever to lower a sensor-like device down into the well. He will then bow to you and exit the room, closing the door behind him. As the sensor enters the well, small, almost firefly-like apparitions begin pouring out from the well, filling the room, flitting about you.
That was perfectly timed.
As more of these, apparitions fill the room, they begin to coalesce, forming a sort of swirling aurora borealis type apparition. Again, I need better words. Before eventually coalescing into a form of mist. Said mist, begins to roil and rage around you, taking the form of rampant gouts of fire, the odd bolt of lightning, floating rocks. Amidst the chaos of these elemental storms, a rip appears before you. A giant luminous fist passing through the tear and pulling it open to bring its form through, taking the shape of a giant luminescent being of pure light. This creature looks around at the chaos around you and reaches out, gesturing as one might if they were performing various arcane conjurings to twist and reshape the chaos around you. 3 dragon-like creatures taking shape from the elements. These 3 dragons then proceed to look around and exhale over your surroundings. The world around you changing multiple times, seemingly representing different planes of existence, layered one on top of the other. One replacing each one replacing the last around you. When the final plane, finishes forming, the being of light is nowhere to be found. The 3 dragons look around, one turning on the other, tearing it to pieces. The third moving to intervene, but failing to act in time, tangling its form around the other as they wrestle for control, one not able to sufficiently dominate the other. Locked in an eternal stalemate. As they struggle, the hand returns, taking the body of the first dragon, atomizing it into crystalline dust that encases the 2 wrestling forms. That which is not used to encase them, taking on the form of 4 orbs. Those orbs are then passed on to various new silhouettes that are conjured from the ether. Those silhouettes in turn using the orbs to bring forth what appear to be smaller, less impressive dragons of a somewhat metallic sheen, judging from the silhouette. They in turn fly out across the heavens, seeding life on various worlds. Those worlds then appear to eventually coming to a single world. This one world, you see, various smoky silhouettes of the different races coming into being. Then in turn getting attacked by the land itself. Large titans of the elements rising from the earth and, smashing them against the rocks, drowning them in the waves. The initial silhouettes that had been given the orbs coming down to aid them, beat back the titans, granting some of the lesser beings snippets of their divine power to aid in the fight. The titans, not to be outdone, seem to call upon the forces of the abyss, demonic entities coming up from the earth itself. The heavenly guardians then proceed to grant their immortal kin even more power. Wings of light coming from the silhouettes as they are, locked in battle with the demonic hordes, eventually driving them back into the depths of the earth. Time seems to operate on fast forward from a bit from there. Civilizations rising, falling. But amidst the fast forward, a single form, a lone silhouette, seems to be moving through the chaos. An aura of the orbs, a halo of orbs forming around him. First one, then two, then eventually all four circling. These orbs are, then brought together to form what appears to be a rip. Dark silhouettes and shadows pouring from the rip. The divine powers moving to intercept, turning on each other as they fight over how to handle this. The world around this silhouette burns. Eventually the fires are out. The world lays in ruin, and the silhouette is gone. The four orbs scattered to the four winds, and the silhouettes of the gods back off. Gates forming around the world as they cut themselves off to prevent what had happened before from happening again.
God damn it, Coda.
Time accelerates once more. Civilizations again rising. The silhouette returning and being thwarted again by, silhouettes with glowing angelic wings. This happens several times before the mists part, and you once again find yourselves in the room of the draining pool. A much more concise and less flowery, well-explained version of the events has been added to your journal in the lore section.
Woohoo!
In the form of 3 handouts. The Myth of Valkyra.
Oh, by the looks of that, looks like some of us have been chosen to be a part of a cycle of what? Divine Knights, or protectors of the orbs. Koda's more looking at Kriv and Krov, Kenshi, and Cortana when he's talking about the divine knights kind of thing.
I just shrug. I don't really have a response to that. I'm still trying to process what was said. Or better, shown.
What's not to understand? Looked like a tale of Genesis to me.
Was incredibly trippy.
Well, it's all true from a certain point of view. A familiar female voice says. You turn to look and you see Arya sitting on the well.
Keeper of the dice. How are you today?
Keeper of the what? I get the sense you found that more confusing than helpful.
That seemed to be the must say that seemed to be the must say that seemed to be a must say it seemed to be a vision of the past of how the gods were how the gods went to self exile.
Among other things, you saw the creation of this existence, the creation of the planes, the origin of the world on which you now stand, the forging of the orbs, and the blood wars, the reason, the creation of the angel items, and why the gods exiled themselves. That was in there. You also saw the idea of who you were fighting.
From the looks of the past, I feel like a better term, a great titan appeared destroyed, though that wouldn't stop any minions or deification from keeping it and its ilk from resurging.
What you face is not a titan. The titans are still slumbering after the last beating they received. What you face was once a man who, at the height of the gods' hubris, before they decided to put restrictions on how magic for mortals works, harnessed the powers of creation in an attempt to ascend to godhood.
So I had it.
From a certain point of view. He felt he had been wronged and was trying to attain the wronged by the gods and was trying to attain the power to fix it.
Ascension to apotheosis tends to drive one insane.
So it is up to us to humble.
Well, you met him. How insane did he seem to you?
Incredibly insane.
Focused. Which does not necessarily mean that they aren't insane. Do I need to make a roll to piece together what the player knows from the character standpoint?
What are you trying to figure out?
I I presume we are talking about um, the either Matthias individually or the cadre that is with him.
For that, I will let you make. You're interpreting based on clues, so we'll call it an investigation check.
Yas. Roll 20. Do not fail me. Oh, I actually had proficiency in that. I forgot I had that. Okay, cool. Let's do this.
Yeah, you good.
You're really good. Damn.
So yes, you are safely able to interpret that the figure you saw with surrounded by the orbs tearing open the portal was probably Matthias, based on what she has just said. And how the silhouette of the armor was similar.
So, Arya, what can you say about Matthias? Certainly a creature at least as old, clearly older than the oldest yokai that I'm aware of.
I don't know about older than the oldest yokai, but he's certainly up there. He's the first of his kind. His attempts to meddle with the dark powers backfiring, and forever cursing him to require the life of others to maintain himself. I believe you call it a vampire. He was the first. Or rather, is the first.
Kodo will look over to Kenshi. So that means there's conditions on him dying, right?
Kenshi will shrug. Under normal conditions, there are certain rules that apply to vampires. Those rules start changing some the older they get. Elder vampires are obviously the most dangerous, and a lot of the rules no longer apply there. I've no idea how that would work with the first.
So
I've yet to see some undead abomination that I cannot pray away.
I would presume that with each subsequent generation, the power would get weaker, so he would be the curse in its purest form.
Which means I was right during our last encounter. He is far too powerful to be killed even by the mights of a god king. Not that I am validating any of your views, Crib.
Ario giggle a little bit. I think that's fair. Being what he is, the only thing that can truly remove him from this existence is the power of the gods themselves. Seeing as that power is lost now, the only things left here that could do that would be the power of the angel items. Specifically several of them. You have to finish collecting the set before you could possibly stand a chance of forever removing him from the board.
Well, what of the orbs? From what we saw there, they were essentially divine in origin. It's something that Matthias can clearly at least attempt to manipulate. Would that not be powerful enough?
The orbs are what helped create him. So in a way, he is forever inherently tied to them. You need something that supersedes them.
Hence the power given directly by the greater deities.
More importantly, the orbs themselves are not power. The orbs help one. They act as a focus. They help one concentrate the aspects of the universe and together you can use them to focus your consciousness towards a common will or goal.
So one could say that they're lenses of creation.
It's as good an interpretation as any. They were what was left of the primordial chaos, brought that which was used to make creation, brought into a form that was more tangible, more easily protected, less likely to cause infighting because they could be separated when needed. As you saw in the original state, when the primordial forces were still let free, the beings that were in charge of creation turned on each other. The creator decided that it would be wise to take steps to try and prevent that from happening again.
So we need not fight the giants in the playground, just I guess just their nephews.
Well, the giants have left the playground a long time ago.
Exactly. Hence no fear in encountering such a force when we have to contend with a shadow in the form of Matthias, and I guess Matthias's own kin, if that's how we can describe the degenerating generations of Vampire. So, more angel items. Being of such an origin, can they be destroyed? Can we be assured that enough has lasted over the ages?
Well, enough have lasted. These items were created by the gods themselves, and magic items under normal conditions don't deteriorate. Certainly, items that were created by the gods themselves would be at least as durable.
Yes, though I've seen myself the power of nature's rivers where there was none, the formation of land through molten rock and ash. I know divinity is quite powerful. My concern would be, I suppose the gods couldn't make anything stronger than themselves.
Not easily. The orbs in the hands of a god, could potentially make something stronger than the gods, but in this particular instance, you need not worry about that. Nature is only as powerful as the gods let nature be at the time they created it. These items were created to fight something far more powerful. They were meant to slay creatures on par with the gods themselves. In some instances, stronger. And if it's one thing I've seen, my time as keeper of the life stream, monitor of this world, it's that when they are needed, the items will make themselves known to those they feel will best use them. Hence why a lot of you are on this journey now. It's my job to put you on the path, and your job to figure out how to follow it to where you need to be.
Well, it doesn't entirely invalidate what I was thinking about saying. With clearly from the imagery and from what you've said, the angel items appear again and again as the need arises. Wouldn't that mean that there could be legends we could follow to perhaps narrow down where we need to be to find them?
Perhaps, if you know where to look. You could attempt the research route. You could attempt to study the histories of great heroes and legends. Or you could just let the life stream guide you. Again, the approach is up to you.
Even with what I've done, I know that the things of worthiness are rarely gained without effort.
This is true.
The idea of just merely letting the life stream take me to where I need to be isn't palatable for the long term.
Well, how's it worked for you so far?
No, I've just been.
Are you not in possession of 2 more items than when you started this journey?
Yes, but that's through no guidance per se. That's just existing and taking in what's going on.
Hey. You have lived your life. You've done what you felt was right, and the life stream guided your adventures to where you needed to be.
This Matthias, Kenshi, if you're right, and each generation of a vampire is just a dilution of the first, would that mean that anyone that Matthias directly sires becomes the most powerful, more immediate generation than himself?
I suppose. If he is the first generation, anyone he sires would become the second. Anyone they sire would become the third, and so on.
Well, in that case, then we could safely assume that his companions could be just shy of his own power level, though that would mean that, well, you had an angel item and you were able to defeat her.
I was able to run her off, yes. I wasn't exactly in the best of shape afterwards myself, as you saw.
No, I remember.
If what Arya is saying is true, and it does line up with some stories I've heard about my grandfather's time, then obviously the life stream, as it were, believes that this is the magic number. And gestures around to the lot of you.
Right. Tibbs, how does this line up with your divine insight?
I must say, thankfully the power of the gods is still here. It resides in its followers. So long as I wield the power of my God, then this, yes. There is no God like my God. So long as I wield this holy power, I shall use it to strike down this unearthly vampire, and I shall finish what my Lord has started. At the end of the day, no matter how much power that it has, it is simply a vampire. He can be killed. You just have to kill him a lot. Well, nobody had the time to kill him as many times as we do.
So, in terms of our ultimate end goal, Kettle partially look over towards Arya. I believe the Songweaver would say that this journey is ultimately not about death, but about life. I do.
Really? I would say that, though arguably that's not your journey.
No, clearly me personally, I'm just a uh, fallen, fallen, somewhat disillusioned yokai on the path to light. There is something nice about that. So, since we have the nice songstress here, let's take advantage of it. Does anyone else have any thoughts?
How much power of the gods does it take to end this thing?
The angel items, I believe.
I'd say, well, she'll look around, just kind of slowly count, and think, looks about 6 angel items worth.
Hmm.
You're as powerful as you are, Sir Cleric. The powers of Bahamut on their own, as brought through you, are diluted enough by the divine gate that it will not be enough without the aid of the items.
Fair enough.
Emma, just removed your Allen keys. Why are you wanting to be a pain? Whatever, I'll just remove all of them first.
Is Matthias or if he's of him? Do you have any idea how a evil that pronounced has been able to move unfettered and detected outside of its own actions?
He's been fettered. He's been detected. He's been stopped several times.
Yes, but I'm talking about now.
He's had centuries, millennia to perfect his craft, wheedle his way into the appropriate places, get himself agents, learn how to manipulate people.
Well,
politics is a very cruel mistress.
At this point, he's probably been a major player in just about every civilization that has risen or fallen over the last 4,000 years. You yourself have probably met him and not realized it.
From what he said at our first meeting, that would be.
He may have even been one of your closest advisors.
I mean, I don't know how to.
Certainly hope not.
Some of his closest allies are victims of his manipulations. The one known as Valgana used to be the queen of the Dark Fae. Still, he seduced her with his promises of power and, immortality.
I guess immortality is glamorous to those who don't already have it.
Especially those who are vain enough to fear the effects of aging. Not all of us age as gracefully as I do.
No, of course not. Watcher of the live stream, I imagine that no amount of pressure could prevent you from coming back.
Again, from a certain point of view. I've experienced death after a fashion.
Well, I'm not I'm not here to discuss the dynamics of higher planes, as clearly Matthias is a immediately cursed product of one. Though, as you mentioned, with apotheosis in play, that may not be true for long. We do have some orbs ourselves, so presumably he would need all of them to do what he needs to do.
Presumably. And if you continue on the path you have been on, you will eventually come to a head over them.
If
You've already captured 2, and I can see 2 more in your future if you do things correctly.
given what I've recently been through with merely stabilizing this place to have this meeting, the angel items, I take it if one of us were to fall or at least become out of favor, it wouldn't be so simple as to ruin the world's chances of getting rid of them.
It certainly wouldn't help your chances, and Destiny would have to choose another. Losing favor, on the other hand, that's more easily handled. The items have a relationship with their owner. They decide whether you are worthy or not of their power based on your actions, and if you lose favor, you just have to redeem yourself in their eyes.
So there wouldn't be any risk of a sort of dark Valkyrie.
The angel items do not work for those who are evil. Or who they deem evil, at least. The forces of darkness had their own versions of the angel items for that.
I suppose not all deities were inherently good, though they probably transcend those kinds of classifications.
They certainly think so, but there is a certain universal morality as set down by the Creator. The world is not as gray as you mortals like to think it is.
Well,
Which doesn't say there aren't some shades of gray to Valkyra, but it's more black and white than you like to think.
well, I got that. The fact that I'm here says certain things about it. You, Arya, you were the one that directed us to find our way here to begin with. And while we've seen a vision of the path that has happened, what of the next sign of the path that lies ahead? Do you have any further destinations you wish us to make our way to, and perhaps find what we need along the way?
I can no longer explicitly tell you where to go, because I am not allowed to directly interfere. And the life stream can only tell you of the past because it only has the memory of the past. What I can say, though, however, is that if you follow the element that brings life, it will give you an indication of where you are needed next.
Okay, David is thinking like water, as water brings forth grass, brings forth trees, etc., etc., etc.
It's like, I'm allowed to explain, I'm allowed to set you on the appropriate path to get you this far. I'm allowed to explain what you have seen. I'm allowed to answer certain questions, but I cannot give you a direct, you need to be here, here, and here.
Could I make a
Free will and all that.
Can I make an investigation roll to kind of confirm my thought the answer may be follow the river kind of thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
You are pretty sure, based on your experiences and the beliefs of most cultures, that she is probably either referring to follow the ether or follow water.
Okay.
Seeing as you are not aware of any ridiculously strong ley lines or anything around here that would be pointing you in a specific direction. However, there's a river very close to you that you guys had to cross to get here.
That's what I was thinking. I just wanted to because I know riddles like that can refer to miscellaneous things.
Yes.
Okay.
You have a 97.9% certainty she's referring to water.
You said the that the live stream only knows of the past. Is that semantics aside? Does that include the present? A kind of clairvoyance.
Well, as any theologian would tell you, the life stream is the collection of every consciousness that ever that is or ever has been. When one dies, their consciousness passes into the life stream and is eventually recycled out into a new soul. So it can only share the experiences that have passed into it. Which means it knows everything from the moment of creation to roughly the present, because people are passing into it every moment, but whether it has the specific information you seek is debatable, as that's what this temple is here for, is to learn what it does and doesn't know. Each one of these jars is a specific memory pulled from it.
Well, with that kind of criteria,
It's the collected, wisdom and consciousness of the multiverse. Oh, really a multiverse when it's just multiple planes? Cause it doesn't actually branch into... No, it's technically not a multiverse, because this doesn't branch into other universes.
I've always thought of the planes and such as being within a bubble. But that's neither here nor there.
It's the collected knowledge and experiences of the planes. It transcends the vibrational frequencies of the universe.
In order for me to find out what I'd want to know, then it would mean that they or someone they know would be dead, and I don't want to find that out just yet. Anyone have any particular memories they would like to delve into, or perhaps questions that can be answered through those that are now part of the cycle?
I don't think they're paying attention to us anymore.
It's not that.
Well, he directly asked if you guys had any questions.
I don't really have questions. I'm just trying to contemplate everything that you said and everything it could mean, outside of the obvious that David asked and investigated.
I'm currently trying to think of a way. I'm about to say, she says she can't tell us the path, so currently I'm trying to think of a way to figure out what the next step is on where the next step of our journey takes us.
I've already figured that out.
Like I said, the obvious questions have already been asked and figured out, which is why I'm just trying to contemplate things. because Kriv has contemplation to do.
In which case, then,
I can't think of anything. Answer?
I'll sit next to.
It'd be rude to ask the question I want to ask, so I'm not going to ask that question.
I'll sit next to the pool. The song Weaver Aria. I know you cannot directly interfere, though you do seem to be quite capable of guiding. If you do not mind, what I would like to do is investigate the recently joined to the live stream that are there by the hand of Matthias. I'm going to see if I can get a handle on things from his point of view.
Alright.
It's gonna be rough, guys.
What's the big plan here?
See, it was you said this is going to be rough.
Yeah, what Kodo is about to do.
Although I believe it to be worth it.
And you already died once. I doubt it can be worse than that. So we'll be here in helping how we can.
I know it's probably going to be it, but please don't tell me I need to make a wisdom roll.
Basically, what you're trying to intentionally trigger a magical fumble.
Well, I thought the point of the live stream was to hold knowledge of those who have joined it.
Yeah.
Presumably, Matthias has betrayed and killed people along his journey within this era to get what he needs. What I'm trying to do is I'm wanting to access the information of those he has betrayed and killed, just to get a better idea of the larger picture as he sees it. Which even though I know by using fragments of those betrayed, it would still only be snippets of a larger puzzle, but it would be more than we have.
Yeah, the Arya will gesture, and unlike before, where it was these firefly-like creatures that eventually coalesce into mists, in this case, an actual tendrils of spiritual energy that almost move like water, are coaxed up from the well. And she gestures her hands so that they envelop you. Make me a charisma save with advantage.
Oh, yes! Yes, I'm good at that. What was it? Oh, bless is on. Ignore that one at the end.
Okay. Passing into the live stream, you hear countless voices around you and a cacophony of dissonant whispers and phrases.
Magician is such a good word.
Reaching out, focusing on what you're trying to find, the world around you swirls before eventually taking shape into the form of a relatively nondescript stone chamber. Table, center of the room, chairs scattered about, the odd torch flickering here and there. Various people, moving about, flitting in and out of existence. Near as you can tell, this is your consciousness' attempt to process the world that you've been dropped in.
Okay.
You hear Arya's, whisper over your, kind of like off to the side over your shoulder, but you don't feel her presence there. Outside of like a protective shell. You have 7 minutes to ask your questions. Make them count.
Oh, I was more expecting a flashback through the perspective of one of his victims, but okay, this works. Okay. What is the last item before the orb in the temple that he has acquired to progress him on his journey?
The world around you shifts and flickers. And there's, a man slumped against the wall, chest tore open, hands cupped in a position that would indicate he might have been holding an orb or spherical like object. The figure glances at you and is like, one of the four.
Is that all he's saying?
Mm-hmm.
Part of the crew.
Okay.
Looks like he may have been wearing priestly vestments, before they were torn asunder. The faith, the symbol of the faith destroyed beyond recognition.
Okay. Who is the... What are the circumstances of the last person to have betrayed Matthias?
The world around you shifts again, taking on the form more of a dungeon now. A lone figure sits in the corner, wrapped in what appears to be some form of straitjacket, rocking back and forth, gibbering, nonsense. Something about the eyes.
It's always fun.
It's just the impression of like a person, a beholder, an eldritch being, or is it too vague?
The person is sitting in the corner, gibbering about something about the eyes while wrapped in a straitjacket.
Yeah, well, they're gibbering. I wasn't sure if the gibbering part would give context to
No, all it is just those eyes, the eyes, the eyes.
I trust him. He sounds legit.
I mean, if you consider vampires have weird eyes and they can compulse you if they look at you. I could see it. Why he would be saying that.
That has nothing to do with the eyes. That's just them rolling charm person.
Shh. Animatrix.
Guess this would count. The last being sired by Matthias. I don't know if they count as dead if you sired them to make them undead. I'm not quite sure so I'm not quite sure how valid of a question that is.
I'd say undeath, corrupts the spirit and the body, so they would not have passed.
Okay.
So what happens is you see various persons and figures flitting about you. All of them, each one basically saying some equivalent to "We do not understand. We do not understand. We do not understand." It's very DS9.
I was actually thinking about the prophets. Okay.
Him.
The last person to have died with within where Matthias's place of living is? Because if you had something like a domain, we would know about it. If you had a castle, actually we might not know about that.
Yeah.
But if you had like a large kingdom, you'd think it would be hard to keep a low profile. Which I guess where he considers the place that he lives.
You get the sensation of being pulled, rushing at high speeds, before you are slammed against what it feels like a wall.
Ugh.
The world around you filled with nothing but your sense of perception lost. Your world filled with nothing but mist.
Well, that's one hell of a not-detect spell.
A cold, chilling mist that grips you down to your very bones. Your sense of self.
Where's the cat?
No sense of direction, barely a sense of self. It is the most lost you have ever felt. There's something dark and evil about this mist. A subtle sense of despair washing over you. And as you're recovering from that, you are pulled back to the real world.
I figured my time was running out. Okay.
However, I do need you to make one more charisma save. This one at advantage to save versus possession.
Oh, fun!
This is why people don't normally go diving into the live stream, because usually something else will try to take your body while you're gone.
Okay. Oh, again,
You're good.
I am good.
So you think?
Oh, I mean, he beat the DC, so
I can't.
No. Okay then.
the DC is posted in y'all's journal, so it's.
It was.
He's rolling versus item number 8 on the magical fumble table.
Oh.
As you come out and you regain your senses, she'll just glance over at you. It's like, I hope that was as illuminating as you hoped.
Only a part of it. Thank you for the guidance.
That's what I'm here for. Now, if you have no more need of me, I do have other duties to attend to.
I do have one thing. Outside of the obvious, with all this going on, how are the yokai kingdoms doing beyond the surface with this?
Outside of the big picture, they currently have no involvement.
Good.
As with the rest of the world, they are at risk should his plan succeed, but until then, he's a relatively small-scale threat that only actively endangers the places that actively pertain to his current manipulations.
Okay.
In this case, his eyes are probably more focused on you guys than anything, since you have 2 of the 4 items he needs to complete what he wants to do.
And we're becoming more and more of a threat the more we find. Go stand up. It's time to follow the water. Unless people are sleeping.
Best of luck, adventurers. And with that, she will fade.
What's a nice lady?
Yeah, she's Naturally not disturbing the world. Seriously, are people tired? I.e., do they need like a long rest for hit points or anything like that? I'm still listed as at one.
I believe we're still kind of fucked up.
So yeah,
So
all of you have not really had time to do much aside from maybe a short rest following the boss fight. So I would presume you would want to rest a day, but I am not locking you into that.
The answer
I
is
would,
yes.
yes, we would like to. We would like to commence with the resting.
Okay.
I can't remember in this game. Do we have anyone who can speed that up?
Nope.
Not available to
Nobody
us.
can speed up a long rest.
Okay.
There is not a mechanic in the game for speeding up a long rest. There's plenty for speeding up short rests, but long rests will always take 8 hours.
Okay. Cool. Then 8 hours.
So
I will harass Dakota
so
about his near-death
presuming
experiences.
nothing special, I will fast forward to the next morning.
Eric said something about harassing
Nothing
Dakota?
special.
Okay, well, harass away then.
It's nothing special. I just give him a hard time. But like I said, moving forward.
It sounds like Sarah was trying to say something. Sarah? Hello?
What?
I thought you were. I was asking if you were trying to say something. I heard you talking, and I wasn't sure if we were talking over you.
No, I was talking. Thank you, no, but no.
Okay.
I fell and Brian was asking if I was okay.
Okay. In which case, morning will come. You guys can consider yourselves fully rested and restored.
No, I'll follow Yellow Brick Road.
Okay, replenish your resources accordingly.
Considering everything and what we talked about before, Eric Koda will tell you some about his past, but I can go into that with you a bit later. Okay. Now, with the idea of it being following the water, let's say we follow the trail of the nearby river.
Checking your map. Yeah, the guards are reasonably on the road to recovery. Not being PCs, a single long rest doesn't fix them up, but they should. You are reasonably certain they will be fine. Within a reasonable amount of time. Checking your maps, you will see that following the river will take you. Most likely will either take you to just a few miles off the river is the town of Winterhaven, where you guys first encountered the undead blight caused by the orb. Or you can follow it south to the trade city of Tamrian.
Well, I've already been to Winterhaven, so Tamrian makes no sense. Okay,
I'd say anyone else weighing in?
If there's no objection.
just the David hour. Okay.
Sorry. Yes. You said the option is to go to this. The guards are doing relatively well. They'll be back on their
Within a
feet
few days.
in a couple of few days. And you said this town. You said the nearest town is what? What's the name of
The
it?
nearest town would be backtracking to the town of Winterhaven, which is that small little farming settlement that you guys encountered the undead hordes at.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
Alternatively, if you come down from the mountains, you can follow the river south to the trade city of Tamron,
Yeah, Tamara. Okay, that
which sits
I
at
like
the
the
fork of
idea
the
that
river, which comes in from the sea.
I have no problem with attempting to buy stuff.
Okay.
I see a crit of typing, so I'll give him a minute to finish typing.
I love our gradual progression of stuff. It's like kill some undead, go to a town, buy some stuff, go to a poor town, spend. I'm gonna say give them whatever money we have left over from buying stuff, kill stuff, move on to the next
Yeah, it's
town.
very classic and iconic RPG.
I know.
The guards come from this temple. This is a temple of Ayun, goddess of knowledge. They are here to make sure bandits don't fuck with it. Some of them are passing through for one reason or another, but most of them are affiliated with this temple.
Kill by. I'll say that's our thing. Kill by charity. Kill by charity. I'm starting to wonder if that's how so many people wound up going down in history as legends because they were basically just like terrible people who killed just about as many people as the terrible people they were fearful of. He's like, we're the heroes. Oh, how are you the heroes? We smile when we kill you.
Alright, you're looking at roughly, based on the mountainous terrain you have to traverse, assuming you're moving at a normal pace, 5 days of travel. You might be able to cut that down a little bit if you could find a ferry down the river, but
Okay.
I'm not sure in how much of a hurry you are.
I'm in no
The
rush.
stream provides.
Now it's the stream provides. Before it was like, "Eh."
I'm more than happy to.
That's it. There's good odds you could find a ferry on the river if you wanted to, and nothing else you came across an abandoned one earlier, so they exist.
Can we just build one?
If you want to take the time to, take some hemp and some wood and make a raft capable of carrying your wagon.
It's
I'm
only
gonna
5
need a lot
days,
more hemp.
guys.
Yeah. See if we can find ourselves a ferry.
Well, that's what I was asking.
You know,
You don't
stimulate
have to
the-
find a ferry. That's just, I wasn't sure in how much of a hurry you were.
Oh,
It's 5
I
days
mean,
if you do it just on the road. You might be able to shave a day or so off that if you find a boat.
how's about we just? I like the idea of just going ahead and finding a ferry. Let's help stimulate the economy.
Okay, in which case I will need a survival check to successfully find your way down from the mountains.
Yeah, I'm good at that. I'm a cat. Yeah, we're at D12s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, can someone roll me 23 plus a D? I can't remember if I'm proficient in it or not. But, yeah, I am 1D12.
I take it Tibbs is making that roll?
It sounds like Tibbs is making the survival check, yeah.
Yeah, I asked if someone could roll me a d12. I so far have a 23 plus whatever d12 rolls.
That's a 33. Okay, so you will cut it down to 3 days as you successfully find your way down from the mountain and can take a ferry. It will, for the number of people and cargo that you are asking them to move, and the fact that you're traveling a little over 50 miles, they will be asking for 50 gold.
How many platinum is it? Because I'll pay that.
That'll be 5 platinum.
I will hand them 5 platinum.
I'll say it's always a 10-to-1 ratio.
I didn't feel like doing math right now.
This is a dice-based game. You probably should feel like doing math.
Remember when people said RPGs helped you with math?
Mm-hmm. On the evening of the 3rd day, you will arrive in Tamran.
Awesome.
It's a smaller, on the smaller side for a city, but by far one of the largest Republic settlements you guys have been in on this journey. Judging from the size, you would estimate population to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 9,000 to 10,000 persons.
I got the camera.
He did look at the camera. That's why he looked up at you.
Okay.
The city of Tamrin glitters with hundreds of tiny lights emanating from windows and lamps that dot the city. It has the look of a new town, built primarily of wood, though older buildings linger here and there, many showing signs of damage, in recent days, based on, your past experiences, probably tied to the incident with the death orb a while back.
Right.
You also can make out the silhouettes of various steam pipes and scaffoldings that, one would expect from a semi-advanced Republic city.
So humid, I take it.
It has the look of a town that is at least somewhat industrialized.
Well,
it's obviously not a huge, center of industry and trade, but given its location on the river, they do reasonably well for themselves and have most of the modern amenities.
Isn't that unfortunate for the trees? Okay.
I'm dropping you on the dock. The captain will suggest, given the hour, that you look to find Gar's last meal. It's a decent place to stay, assuming you don't mind the smell of fish.
Fish is good. Better when it's fresh from the river, but it's good.
And it's sun would be coming down at this, or just after sundown at this point. So obviously you can head over for dinner, or if you wish, you could do some shopping before things start shutting down.
You missed it. He's following the stream.
So, by the way, the travel time was no longer 5 days?
It came down to 3.
Okay.
they being able to travel constantly thanks to being on the water, knocked a little over a day on half off.
Well, in that case, let me check out the loot crate right quick. Actually, I'm not even gonna look. I'm just gonna. I would like to see if there's anyone selling mana potions.
Make me an charisma-based investigation for gather information. You're directed to a small, like, mom and pop style alchemist and apothecary.
Okay.
That, you're told if anybody's going to have it, it's going to be them. Going inside, you see, just shelves of various bottles and concoctions. And in a glass cabinet, several vials of various red and blue potions.
Okay.
Here's Anathar's. How many are you looking for?
Now, what type do they have? But they all come to different types.
See, 3 types here.
You're gonna make it to
Yeah, sorry.
So apparently they have 2 greater.
Cool. Cool.
And those are under that category, so they are priced at priced at 500 gold apiece.
Okay, do people mind if I snag from the party fund for this?
To buy stuff?
He's trying to buy the 2 mana potions they have in stock.
No, go for it.
So if you're buying both of them, that'll be 11,000 gold.
I have no problem for anything of potions or things that help the party.
11,000. So
lighter mana potions recover 2d4 plus 2 mana.
Okay. Yep, 2d4 plus 2. I already have it right here.
Okay.
Because we had 1 apparently before, so now we have 3.
Okay.
Okay.
The shopkeep will also tell you that they're working on some more. They should have, and there's another shipment on the way as well, so they might have more within the next few days, depending on how long you're here.
Thank you. Okay. Tell me, shopkeep, how's the town been, or how's the trading port been faring so far? I know there's been recent ecological issues.
It's been hit and miss. The blight was obviously a problem, but that seems to be clearing up. The hordes of undead were a pretty serious problem as well. Thankfully, we've had a recent influx of adventurers come through that were reasonably helpful in that regard. And the Church of Ramsir, their acolytes and stuff, were able to protect the town and supplement the local guard, local militia, constabulary, whatever you want to call it. Those who are in charge when the government, doesn't have troops to spare, the local contingent.
Let's see, the shopkeep said Ramsia. Am I familiar with that at all?
You are free to make me a check while I confirm I didn't fuck up the name.
I am afraid Roll20 has been far too nice to me.
Yeah, Razmir. You never heard the name.
Well, it's good. It's good to hear that the port has been so well protected. I'm glad to know that no marketeers took any advantage of the situation. I will head off. Sorry, was it noted what time it was when we arrived?
Just after sundown.
Okay. So shops and stuff are closing. We're in a fairly semi-industrialized area. I take it we have lanterns and stuff like that to keep illumination.
There are gas lamps lining the street.
Okay.
It's reasonably well lit.
Because I realize when industrialization happens, hours of operation can expand.
Yeah.
What I'd like to do is similar to what I did with the shopkeep. Is I kind of want to go around and I want to I want to see if I can find out if there's been any activity which could constitute as maybe a part of either a part of a larger plot or unusual activity. It's like I guess I'm hunting for plot points.
All right, yeah, you repeat that because I was typing for Eric.
Okay. I'd like to take then the time while things are still roughly in operation to find out if there's been any unusual circumstances that are or maybe people that have been taking advantage of the recent situation in maybe a complex manner. I'm actually trying to find out if, for example, like in Winter Haven, if there is something greater going on, or if it's just the normal humdrum.
Charisma-based investigation check.
Okay, Tristan. I just wanted to figure out about that bit, so thank you.
Okay, based on that. You hear a little bit about, again, a group of adventurers, well-armored adventurer types that came through, caused a little trouble, but not one would not normally associate with adventurers passing through town. A blonde woman with them was especially troublesome.
Okay. If there's ever a rumor about a quartet of people, one with fiery red hair, then I'll be concerned.
There's the odd mutterings about the church and the temple in town, but not really anything meaningful. As with most religions, you get the feeling that you get a vague feeling that people either love it or hate it.
Okay.
And that's about the extent of what you're able to gather with a 14.
Okay. I will head to. Start with a G. It was the inn that the ferryman recommended we go to. You know what? This is what I like to do. I would like to make a survival roll to locate Crib's prints and follow that. He's the most distinctive out of all you.
You should know where Criv is going. He goes to the bounty board, goes to the guard captain, then goes back to where we all came from.
So, he'd be going to the local garrison, and then back to the dock. By that logic.
Though, but especially if you guys just go wander off and look up stuff, it's like, I'll go here.
The name? I know you told us. I just forgot the name.
Is something drink in?
Nope.
No, it wasn't.
So Tibbs and Zariah, what are you doing?
Tibbs is trying to figure out. I'm about to say this town actually.
I can just go to Garrison. It doesn't bother me.
Actually, there's one thing I'm trying to figure out what to do. It's a way to. The blight is still affecting their fishing, correct?
From what you were able to pick up on just walking around town and listening to people talk, and what you were able to observe coming down river, the blight is improving, And over the last few days, since you solved that problem, it has gotten vastly better than it was, but it is still taking time. So their fishing also is improving as fish from further out towards the sea were not affected by the blight because it hadn't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
So they're well on the way to recovery now that things have been handled. It's just they were dealing with it when it was happening, and now they're having to rebound.
All right. So the blight, is that more of a disease or magical? Would you consider it more
that was the fallout from the corruption caused by the Matthias's machine and the Orb of Death that was opening a portal to the Shadowfell?
Yeah.
It was that same thing. So that was all magical. That was arcane. That was corruption of the Shadowfell seeping out into the world.
Which has already been dealt with. It's just takes time for things to fix itself.
You don't have time for time.
Well, do you know how to fix environments and ecologies?
You're probably taking levels Druid.
I'll say depending, I might be able to.
Do you have levels of Druid?
I don't have levels of Druid, but I do have
Do you
levels.
have knowledge of nature?
I do have knowledge of holy shit.
Well, let's see what you come up with.
I'm curious about this one. Also, who is taking care of the Bardo in this whole process?
I will presume that has been left to Kenshi and Cortana, so they can just mark mode around and meet you at the tavern.
Mark moding around town.
So my ordered point would be considered the Bardo at the dock, but if they're going to the tavern, I'd just meet them at the tavern.
What's the name of the tavern?
Because that was... I don't remember. I've been doing multiple things involving guns. I'd like to make a knowledge check to remember.
There you go.
I'll at least admit it. I'm multitasking.
That's all I was asking. If you can't remember, make a check. Ask to make a check.
That's great.
Or failing that, roll a gather information and go, hey, what inns are in town? I'm a derpy pants.
I will at least swallow my pride and admit. David.
No, I will solve this.
No, I was waiting for you instead of rolling to remember the name of the tavern. I was waiting for you to say, I'm going to try and track the wagon. And I was like, oh yes, major trade town. Please try to track one specific wagon.
Oh, see, yeah, I knew there'd be wagons all over the place, but I know there's not that many, not that many crivs in the Republic.
There is only one Dragonborn within a good 300-400 mile radius.
You know what I would like to do, however? Cast locate creature.
1,000-foot radius.
Is this like, Tristan? Is this like a river or is it like a?
If you look at the map, the town sits at the fork of a river, where one river splits into two.
Is it an intelligence or wisdom check? I know it's not a save.
Alright. So it's a river.
Yes.
Alright. So I was hoping it was like, okay, cool. So.
Nope, there are only a few lakes on this map, and you're not near any of them.
Alright, so they just all fish in a river. Alright.
They either fish in a river or they go downstream to the sea and fish at the sea.
There's salmon.
Could be salmon, could be trout, could be pike, could be made-up fish.
The point is, it's river fish, or fish that spend part of their life in the sea, and part of their life in the river.
It's either river fish or they go down river to the ocean and fish in the ocean and then come back up.
Gotcha.
But do I remember where to go?
Yes.
Okay, I'll be there.
You are looking for the Gar's last meal.
I knew it was food and it started with a G.
Gar's last meal?
G-A-R.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Gamma Alpha Romeo.
Oh my god, the phonetic alphabet, it just appeared.
Shadeable.
So has my Lima Charlie detected anything? I can upkeep this for an hour. 1,000 feet's pretty big.
I'm just going to proceed to use my meditation to make myself near death so he can't detect me.
think it works that
Take it
way.
anyways.
I
know
like
it
to
doesn't.
I like to channel the anti-life equation.
I'm aware it doesn't work that way. I'm just saying I would try to pull a flash and just basically make my heart stop. Because at that point, I'm no longer. If I'm not alive, technically, in some weird fashion to save it, then I'm no longer a creature.
Oh yes, and I can use locate object. No wait, dead bodies aren't objects.
But they're not creatures.
You'd be a dead creature.
So first of all, there's no save.
Damn it.
So yeah, you can't. There is a way to block it. 2 ways to block it. Neither
What
one
do
of them
you-
are on your list.
Non-detection is one of them.
So that'd be 3.
What are you trying? What are you trying to
He's
do?
trying to find
I'm
the
being
party because he
semantic,
doesn't want to
don't
roll
worry
to
about it.
remember the name of the tavern, so he's blowing mana to find the. Thankfully, the tavern is on this side of the river, so you don't have to worry about the river blocking it.
Awesome.
It's the thing about locate object. No,
Locate creature is what he's using.
He's trying to find me.
So it'll take you
The rarity
about
of
half an
rarities.
hour of wandering, but you will eventually locate and make your way to whichever character you're looking for with your locate.
Okay.
I do love that I have that.
That cancel clause right there is very peculiar.
Yeah.
Goodness, dude.
Huh.
So yeah, I don't know who you're looking for, but whoever you're looking for, you have found.
Okay, cool.
Now I'm waiting for Brian to figure out what he's doing.
Something silly.
Since he's trying to become a druid.
Become another class.
There are ways.
I'll say I know cleric and druid have many similar spells, especially if you're a nature cleric, but
Tibbs?
he's doing stuff.
Oh, okay.
He's a cooking something.
I just want you to know I'm paying for the end electrum for everyone.
They will not take your strange money here.
Take that Dragon
It
Guard
is money
coin
of the
away.
system.
We don't serve your coin here.
I'm just gonna have to add that to the world book that Electrum does not exist.
If you have to do that, then I'll convert it into gold and just leave it at that. If you really want to.
He really does not
'Cause
like
I still have
Electrum.
500. They still have 550 of it.
Okay, it will cost you 4 Electrum per person per night.
Damn. What the fucking hotel are we staying at?
Must be a pretty good one for that price.
It's 2 gold a night,
Yeah,
but he's not using real money, so I had to figure it out.
But it's gold. The fact that we're paying in gold means it's pretty good rooms.
That includes meals.
Okay,
Oh
but
my.
does it include
No,
stable?
I'm sorry, meals are
Jeez.
separate.
Yeah, no. That's
So it's 4 electrum per person per
Yeah.
night. Tibbs is not a person, he's a cat, so he doesn't count.
hear that, Tibbs? You're not a person.
And Brian's used
They
that
won't
trick often
realize
enough.
the-
I'm sure he's not going to make us think about it.
The way he does things, he's not gonna just go out of his way to make himself be
I know.
known as a sentient creature.
Sarah, for the record, that means that is the cost of a wealthy
Or-
room.
That's what I thought.
Like, this is a very nice inn.
I know.
So-
We would include,
4, 8,
like, hot
12.
personal bathtubs and stuff.
Wealthy. Okay, this is wealthy lifestyle.
K plus
tell you what a fucking
K
wealthy hotel room
plus Z.
They tell you what a wealthy lifestyle is.
Is there a way to lower the spell casting time?
Be a sorcerer.
yeah,
Not
be
unless
a
you're a
sorcerer.
sorcerer.
Okay. Screw it. We have 24 hours, right?
You just got into town. You tell me how long you think you have.
How long do we have? Tibbs will, Tibbs will ask upon hearing about the blight. How long do we have?
Well, the only person who's still with you is Sarah. Everybody else scattered.
Well, we heard about the blight. Like at the start of this, how long are we
You did
gonna
not
stay
hear
here?
about the blight in town until after everybody had scattered. You had an awareness of the blight itself because you were there when, in the other module when you first encountered it, and you've seen it getting better over time.
Gotcha.
As far as how long you have in town, well, you'll have to ask your party, but for that you'll have to find your party.
Screw it, they'll find me. Alright, so I'm gonna start work on this then. Alright, I am going to heal the river one part at a time.
How does that work?
I'm going to go up to the highest section of the river that flows through the town towards the pretty much I'm gonna go up as high as I can from where they attempt to fish from. Pretty much like the upper part of the James River where it flows down through the city and whatever.
Okay.
But I'm going to like the pony pasture area. And I am going to cast Hollow.
Okay.
So what Hollow will do, I infuse the area with holy power, and that area basically the duration is until dispelled. It has a casting time of 24 hours, but so long as it is up, then no sort of evil can pass through it. Meaning that whatever blight is flowing downriver will hit the hollowed area and automatically be purified. And I'm putting down the holy Brita filter.
Well, having come downriver, no blight is flowing downriver. If anything, the blight is backtracking upriver because the blight is no longer flowing. Things are healing from the blight that had already occurred.
I thought you said that like some residual was still coming down.
It's not coming down. They're just healing from what had already come.
Okay, so it's just kind of the lingering stuff in the river. Okay, I thought it was like toxic waste, like they turned off the faucet, but there's still some light that's still leaking out, and it's slowly getting better. Not so much,
No.
Okay.
No new blight has come. They are just dealing with cleaning up the aftermath.
If it was radioactive, I could see logic to that, but dealing with magic, it's not radioactive.
Well, I was using magic.
Argue magic is a form of radiation.
As I say, it's like the land just needs time to heal.
So really, they need the help of a druid.
Right.
Okay. There's the. That's too much of a dick move, and I'd have to stand here for days while it did it. Oh, I could do that, but I'm pretty sure that it would be so pissed at me. There's another. I'm just gonna let this go, but I do have a really good idea that I was thinking about doing, but it's a total dick move.
No, don't let me stop you. And if you want to take more time,
I'm not gonna do it because there's a chance that it'll probably get pissed off at me and probably attack the villagers once it found out what I was trying to make it do.
What, the river?
No, I was thinking about summoning a unicorn and having it just use its purification powers to just stand in the middle of the river, like Aqua. And just have it stand in the middle of the river I'll say because its presence purifies stuff. So I'm just gonna let it stand in the middle of the river. And it'll probably get really pissed off because when I conjure it, it has no choice but to follow my instructions for like 24 hours. But after 24 hours, it can do whatever it wants. So, I'm like, great unicorn, please just stand here in the middle of the river. And I'm like, the fuck. I'm not trying to have it skewer someone like Cabin in the Woods. K plus K plus K plus Z plus C. What?
That was me just doing math.
Yeah, new math.
No, that was just making sure I had every single
Kriv,
character.
Kenshi, Koto, Zaraya, Cortana. Right, yep. I got your new math, man. I know what your new math is all about.
I was going to delete it afterwards, but I just hit enter on accident and just said whatever.
We can't. I love how. Wasn't that the thing where we couldn't exactly come up with a team name? Team kicks it. All right. Well, I'll say short of standing at the edge of the water and constantly casting purification in a 10-foot radius, I can't do shit.
I'm gonna go rob the rich to get to the floor.
That is a downtime thing you could do. Crime is an option.
I guess if I can't do
Yes,
that.
do this in front of the lawful good character.
Well, I mean,
Are there
go
any
off and do crime, not stay here and
I
do
say you
crime.
guys are scattered, so
Are there any poor people here?
it's a major city. Yes, there are poor people here.
Sweet. I am going to find said poor people, and I'm going to help them.
Most of them are down in the industrial district, hanging out and hiding in, various crates and stuff, to form shelters.
Cool. I will go to Midgar. My way to Sector 7.
I hear there's an amazing bar down there, but not the bar you're looking for.
It's the bar we deserve.
No, you guys aren't that awesome. You guys can't handle the pinball machine.
I would like to challenge that with a dexterity check.
Well, see, that's automatically why you fail. You don't beat the pinball machine with a dex save.
The pinball machine beats you.
I mean, what would playing a pinball machine be, anyways?
Well, you see, that's the problem. You've fallen into the trap by trying to play the pinball machine.
I'm gonna go grab some chips real quick while we figure out what the rest of the party's doing. Hopefully everyone will have an idea of, existence when I get back. I hope y'all's investigations into the what the hell is going on is better than mine.
The winning move is not to play the pinball machine.
I am going to. I'm going to see if I can hold a get together for all those who are in need. Second.
Okay.
See you later. Yeah, I'm going to. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can. I'm going to see if I can kind of create a. Um,
Yes,
Guardian,
Tristan, already
I'm
aware
gonna
of the
say,
advantage.
Guardian of Fate. Would it be okay to say that they can talk, or can they not talk?
Guardians of Faith. I don't think they can.
I mean, it doesn't say that they can't, but it doesn't say that they can.
It also doesn't say they're creatures.
I mean, it says a large spectral guardian. Because I know there's spirit guardians, and then there's guardians.
I'm gonna say that it can't talk on its own, but you could combine it with a thaumaturgy to make it talk. If you have the thaumaturgy cantrip.
I do have. I will summon a guard. I will summon a guardian of faith.
Okay, giant, spectral armored warrior, with a draconic motif to his armor and weapon appears, hovering in the spot you designate.
Right next to me, I'm going to use my sleight of hand in order to use my thaumaturgy to make it seem as if it is calling out to the weak and disenfranchised of the town.
Okay. Maybe you have to make me a check for that.
Cool. I'm good at this. Oh, slaughter. Yeah, so you don't want to work. Goody. Okay. I mean, my sheets just kind of scrunched together. Let's make it bigger. Fair point. Right.
Yep, that's sufficient to sleight of hand.
Okay. Praise be to those who seek. Praise be to those who seek the healing and divine hand of the all powerful Sky Daddy.
As people are gathering around, confused.
Come to those who are in need. Those who are in need, come forth. Those who are in need, come forth. And come forth and receive the blessing that has been designated to be given unto thee. For the suffering that as recompense for the suffering that you have that you have dealt with during these trying times.
Call it a moderate-sized crowd, maybe 30 people or so.
Okay. The voice would say, the voice would say, it was like come to the it was like, please walk up to the platinum cat and receive your blessing.
They form a very confused line and start approaching.
Tibbs will dig inside. Tibbs will dig inside of his bag, and will bat a platinum coin at one person.
This is not coming from the bank of crib, mind
It's
you.
the cat of bounty.
Does the person take it?
Yeah.
Next in line.
And you'll cycle through. They'll run off. Word starts spreading as you start going through more people, and the line, keeps refilling.
Those who are not destitute and hard up for resources. Please do not attempt to take from those. Please do not attempt to partake in this. Please do not attempt to partake in this charity. The great God will know of your greed-filled deeds.
Huh. That sounds like a challenge to the Thieves Guild.
Yeah.
Let's see now. There was three going, hey guy, I joined the guild if I deceive God.
Actually, yeah, that was actually what I was actually about to cast next. So yeah, I was going to cast that next.
Okay.
Nice. As they come forth, as they come forth, the spectral entity will ask, are you destitute and seeking, seeking salvation?
What was that, Brian? Sorry.
Pretty much going to be like, art thou destitute and seeking salvation from the Lord God?
They are, again, people are confused, but they seem willing to listen. They definitely look destitute.
Well, essentially, I think what he's trying to say is, with Zone of Truth, he's trying to weed out people who...
So far, they all seem to be sincerely in need of money.
Okay. In which case, for everyone who passes, they shall receive a platinum. For everyone who fails, a sacred flame will fly at their feet.
Well, I will roll for some people in a minute, but first let me get Crib's shit out of the way.
Because I'm assuming if word spreads around, then some assholes are more likely gonna show up and be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm totally broke."
I will roll a D100. You get
Jesus Christ.
13 fakers out of the set.
Okay, I was about to say, it's gonna be like 87 out of 100 people alive. This town is full of assholes. God rescinds his.
Kriv, that's going to be a con save for you.
Cool. Here's a question, because I'm technically immune to poison and disease status. Alcohol is technically poison.
Yes, alcohol gives you the poison condition. I am aware.
Are you cheating?
I'm not cheating.
Yes, you are. You're straight
I'm-
up cheating.
Wait, how's he cheating?
He challenged people in a drinking contest knowing damn well he can't get drunk, thus defeating the entire purpose of a drinking contest.
Well, no, I'm doing it to be friendly. I'm not making them pay for it.
You're lucky I'm over here doing the Lord's work.
Hey, I'm paying people to try to beat me at drinking, and I'm the one paying.
Okay, well then, this woman just bet you, so...
I'm going to turn down the bet, but okay.
You have sleight of hand? Are you any good at sleight of hand?
No.
How's about this? When you inevitably beat her, and she's a drunken stupor, just slide the money back in her pocket.
I'm just going to insist on not and just pay for it.
Doesn't sound like...
But I'll roll that save now.
Doesn't sound like much fun, but alright. Bragging rights it is.
You win. You know, say you win, you get paid. I win, you get paid. Wait, what?
It's more of getting people to be more interested in doing things. Causing a distraction.
Is you don't need to roll anything, because people are just going to be knocking back and forth and not doing anything.
I mean, you asked me to do it, I'll still do it.
No, there's no point in rolling. There's going to be a fun little
I
contest,
basically
but if
just...
you're going to cheat by being a monk, then, there's no...
I'm not trying to cheat, I'm just asking would it
It's not a
actually
contest
work?
if only one side has the chance of getting inebriated. That's just you buying a lady a drink.
It is the smoothest.
Besides her, I was assuming it'd be more than just her.
Well, no, because you see, you two are going to be going back and forth so much that nobody, by the time you get to the point where she might consider tapping out, nobody else is going to want to fuck with you because of how much you've had.
I will roll deception. To feign a thing I can't be.
And considering that, there's no chance of them making money off it anyway, there's not, there's no fun to be had.
If people insist on betting, they can bet.
Well, unless you do amazing on your deception check, they're not going to want to bet.
Are you a good liar?
No, that's Kodo.
I don't know why the cleric and the sorcerer are your best liars.
It's not that I'm bad.
Well,
I
the
have a full
sorcerer
I'm
being
just
the
not
best
proficient.
liar is pretty common because charisma is also their casting stat, so them putting into deception or just having a high charisma.
Yeah, I have a high charisma, but that's about it. But let's see. I will proceed to try to be drunk, but I will buy basically everyone drinks whoever decides to try to challenge me.
Can you turn it off?
I don't think that's how it
Nope.
works, unless I took that version of monk. Must be drunk to be a monk. Because there is a monk that does that. But that's very confusing because they don't remove the status effect. It's just alcohol specifically doesn't apply, if I recall.
Yeah, nobody ever wants to have a drinking contest with a monk after level 10. I mean, I suppose you could technically.
So the fact that the drunk monk exists does.
Well,
bring-
I mean, there's that, but the phrasing is your mastery of your body and ki allows you to ignore them, which would allow the phrasing would cause me to think that you've trained to the point where it's subconscious, because otherwise surprise poison attacks would still affect you. But that would say that if one exerted enough will over themselves, they could turn it off as long as they maintain concentration.
I'll do that then. I'll totally do con saves, make this entertaining. Although it doesn't have any the moment I fail the con save and I start getting drunk, so consciously I would make myself no longer drunk. By the only way you just worded that.
Subconsciously, your diamond body will turn off the drunk.
It won't be an instantaneous reversion, because it'll take a little bit of time for your body to purge the poison, but you will sober up a lot faster than you should.
I'll go with that. I'm willing to do that.
I do so many crunches that the drunk wears off.
But yeah, I'll go with that. 27 con save. Let's make it entertaining.
GM goes to get the real dice.
Oh no.
She knocks
Awesome.
it back. Seems to be about as unfazed as you are. Pours another round. Looks you dead in the eye. Bring it.
Doop, doop, doo.
And I do not see a wisdom check for suppressing your.
I'll roll that in the next set right now. So I'll put this as the wisdom because I already have it mostly checked out. What was my wisdom before? Yep.
Did you?
Okay. You have successfully suppressed and successfully beat the mid-tier booze. Okay. Okay. Respect. Barkeep, bring the damn good shit.
Oh lord.
Just put it on my tab and do it. Always stingy with the good booze. Like I'm gonna waste it.
Hmm? The cat's been fun. I do what I do. What he's been doing.
Knocks it back.
You've been doing.
Looks a little tippy for a moment. Shakes her head and seems to shrug it off. You, on the other hand, Crib, for the first time in a long time, your vision starts to blur. The world's spinning around you. You are poisoned. AKA drunk.
I will keep going.
Okay, let me double check this. Poison. Disadvantage on attack rolls. No, that's prone. Disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks, so it does not affect your save.
Admittedly, you can be prone from being drunk.
I'm aware. Round 4. She'll pour another round of the damn good shit.
Lazy choice. Good. Be free. Be free.
You have successfully suppressed and have not gotten any more drunk than you were.
Yay.
She's, again, same thing, knocks it back. Lets out a cheer. Seems to shake herself and slams her mug down on the table. Yeah!
Another. I believe you have just found your bride.
Does she want to stop?
Fuck no! Don't pussy out on me! Shit got some real!
I would figure I'd ask to be considerate.
Chicken shit drinker ass found in this town.
Is that even from this town? Don't be such a Zell. Don't be a chicken wuss.
I feel like we should start taking penalties to this wisdom save the more drunk I get.
You are considered severely poisoned.
Awesome.
All following saves will be at disadvantage. And you have, and you can change your language proficiency from English to English.
I'll go ahead and do that.
What, actually change your language proficiency to English?
No.
English, motherfucker, do you speak?
I feel like at this point I'd just start speaking in Draconic.
What about the whore? We watched it the other day.
Yeah, Carol.
Well, because of disadvantage, I'm going to basically fail a wisdom save to keep myself from not being drunk. Well, keep myself from to continue being the drunk.
I think he's already drunk.
Roll
So
the wisdom save, man.
what did you say? Hopefully, keep from being disadvantaged.
Unless you're not choosing to no longer try and focus.
I'm still going to try. I'm just saying, I think it's going to start not working with what I rolled because of disadvantage.
Gonna try. Something is gonna work.
The reason why I think that is because I roll a 1.
Oh, literally. Think you're about to fall under the table.
Probably.
Yeah, Criv passes out.
Oh, I-dee-da-dee-da-dee.
She's like, yeah! Stands up, puts one foot on the table, Captain Morgan style. It's like, I have beaten the dragon! Who's next?
A new
I am
challenger
the
has
greatest.
arrived.
You'd probably slap Criv awake.
Ring it, fire crotch!
Okay, I believe she's dealing with the quote-unquote good shit.
Well, she's letting you pick your tier. You don't have to start with the good shit.
There's a part of me that wants to do this just because I have proficiency in Constitution.
One round of
So do
medium,
I.
the rest high.
As in, the good shit or the tier between medium and the good shit?
Oh no, basically like what she did with him of one of moderate, then skip to the good shit.
Okay.
Well, that's what she did to me.
Well, technically,
I would like to order. I would like to order one drugs, please.
Is Kodo not going to take any pity?
He's a sorcerer, so he shouldn't.
I don't know who you're talking about. All I know is that there is a red-headed woman across the table.
The lies.
And is this redheaded woman going to decide to kick?
And Kenshi and Cortana on another table face bombing.
Hey, I even offered to pay for this whole
Roll
thing.
your con. Oh, yeah, you're still paying.
What the
I
hell?
only agreed to
I
my
know.
part.
I'm just saying, you're still paying
Can
for that
anyone
part.
just tell? Like, can anyone just tell the truth here?
Yes.
I mean,
Just
Okay, nobody is
lies.
phased by round one.
Okay, I believe round 2 is the damn good shit.
The damn good shit, yeah.
I'm gonna have to make a 30 on this one, man.
Yes, yes, you are. The damn good shit is DC 30.
Do it!
nope.
It's also the drain cleaner.
You know what? That's really close though.
Yeah, that's really close, but you're still poisoned.
Close.
You black out.
No, it's 3 fails to black out.
Really close though.
It's 1 out of 3.
She seems to be maintaining it buzz.
It should be round 3. Okay.
You are severely poisoned.
I think
Or badly poisoned or whatever it is.
I don't want to be like him. So
Tapping out.
yeah, he's nods.
I'm queen of the world! Whole house gets around.
Not paying for that.
Man, even at
She didn't say you were.
even at maximum, it'd be hard to beat a 30.
I'm not saying unless you have like 2d12s.
Oh, but I don't think there's a way to get.
Yeah, there's
to
no way to get
uh,
expertise in a saving throw.
Yeah, man, I was impressed though when I got like 2 points off.
Mm.
Seriously,
I mean, I'm at 1d12 plus 3. So,
So in theory, it's makeable for you.
yeah.
yeah, it's doable. It's just you're required to roll like in my case, a 6 or higher on a d12. And as you saw, roll 20 decided not to do that for me.
Alright, so while this is going on, what is Zariah actually doing?
I don't know. Rescuing lost kittens.
Tibbs, no.
Okay, make me some investigation checks to find lost kittens, and then some dex saves to save lost kittens.
Roll me SPCA.
Can you roll me 2d12 plus 2? I think it's plus 2. I'm going with plus 2 because I don't remember what it is in my sheets. So my computer's still off. So
I believe that you're really good at.
yes, I am, which is why it's 2d12.
You roll your d20?
I am. 6. So say if the electronic deck. Because my dice is over there and you never handed them to me.
I didn't ask for it.
You never handed them.
You have successfully found kittens, now can you save them?
Do I need a deck
That's why I said
save
dex
or
save.
just a deck? Oh. My dex is a 5, so I don't know what that makes my save.
1d20 plus.
Okay.
There's a box that says saving throws. You look at the modifier for dexterity and.
I do not.
Alright, so what was that, dex? I
Mm-hmm.
believe your dex is 5.
Mhm.
D20 plus 5.
Are you
Sure.
proficient?
I don't know right now. Roll the fucking 2, so it doesn't fucking matter anyway.
Okay, you're not proficient in dex, so that'd be. It takes you a while, but you are able to successfully save kittens. There's some minor scraping and a few claw marks, but success.
Hellish rebuke.
Would anybody like to do anything else? I mean, obviously, Kriv can't do much, but
I'll have a
I
conversation
will con save to get up.
with this person that I haven't seen since slightly past game time.
yeah, you do that.
Yeah.
It's mostly unintelligible because you're hammered, and the way you're typing, I'm assuming, not making much sense.
I was just playing into
Can I roll
room,
the con save
so
to wake up?
I'll cast a spell to cleanse my system.
So Tibbs and Zariah, you have done your side thingies. What is there anything else you'd like to do, or are you just gonna head back to the tavern now?
Once I'm done, helping people, then I guess I will make my way back to the tavern, knock off this platinum. And I guess we make our way back to the tavern. Right. Little one. There we go. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Can I make a con save to try to wake up
Not,
and be responsible?
not yet.
Damn.
You know what? I guess I'll do some sort of reawaken spell on him.
You two make it back to the tavern. Whereupon,
I guess I'll just be doing the sawing of logs.
now give me a minute. I'm getting there. Gotta set the map in the right position. You will enter the tavern, seeing the party sitting around the table. A very passed out Kriv. And a young woman who sees you approach and goes, "Sup, bitches? Took you long enough."
Ow. Tibbs will look over at her and then look over at Kodo, like, no.
Oh no, there's multiple Kodos now.
Picture posted in Roll20 chat.
You know what? Maybe I'll agree with you on that one, Brian, with what you said.
Oh, I must have missed the memo. You were waiting for us?
Yeah? After escorting that detachment you guys requested up, upriver here, and I decided to hang out and wait for you guys to, come downstream while they went to secure that castle you guys were talking about.
Oh, good. Glad it's secured. You, get the number one headband?
I wish.
Oh, I remember who she is now. It's the person that Cortana messed with.
What?
I'm thinking it's that person, isn't it?
This person
No.
who?
No,
Her ex Cortana.
Nope.
Is
This
that
person's
one?
pre-game.
Mm.
say now if you wish to restore Kriv, assuming you have a lesser restoration, because that's what you need to remove poison.
Whatever I need to have.
Well, I know that, but
I am God King Kodo.
I know that, but I'm telling you what you need to cast so you know how much mana to mark off.
Yes, I just wanted to sound full of
Yeah,
myself.
say, are you doing this before or after we show
Why don't
up?
you get rid of all
I don't know
the,
when you guys show up.
This is, they have showed up. They are here now. We are in the now. This is the
Moved in.
present.
Somehow, that. Found that okay.
I will spend the
Lesser restoration is the second level.
3 MP.
Okay. Kriv, you are brought back from the unconscious drunkenness. You're hungover, but your body, your body will purge that in a few minutes. But excuse me, where are my manners? I haven't introduced myself to the new members around here. My name's Aurora.
She's in the top 5.
I will nod.
I will properly greet her, since I'm no longer in that status.
Since my status has been removed and I am now me.
Kriv, make me a history check.
Let me double check. I'm pretty sure it's Armorous that's proficient, not me. Yep.
Homeros is the Greg of Lunacostra.
Hey, I rolled pretty high for it though.
Not proficient, still beats a 20.
I rolled a 19.
That you will recognize her, or feel you recognize her as, based on the name, as Aurora Young Klein. She is the black sheep daughter of one of the more well-to-do families in the Republic. Her father, is the opposition leader in the Senate, or House of Lords, or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm. At that point, I'd have to properly introduce myself by my name of Norixius. At that point.
Among the upper crust, she has the reputation of most unladylike behavior. She prefers to have nothing to do with the nobility and run around being an adventurer and punching monsters in the face and shit. Bit of a temper.
I am already liking this person. But yeah, I'd introduce myself by my proper name, Norixius Kriv.
Nice to meet you. Mad respect.
It's been... how's Kriv again? It's been a decade since I've been that drunk.
Try more often. Life's more fun that way.
It takes a lot of effort to get to that point, though.
Okay. But yeah. Did a favor for Kenshi. Looked into some of that Whispered One crap you guys have been running into. They're popping up all over. Though I've noticed mostly in the Republic, which is oddly targeted.
Well, if someone wants to take over a place, it would be targeted.
And most of it's happened within the last 2-3 years, which is also about the same time the locals tell me this Temple of Razmir opened up here.
I was wondering. I hadn't heard of Razmir before. And I've seen quite a many temples.
But yeah, they tell me it started as a small band of mercenaries, but they raised funds to build a temple. gaining power and influence here in the city. And I think they have some inns because the local guards basically ignore them. I've even heard of the odd rumor about them, actively ignoring charges of misconduct in places. I'm not sure if they're in on their protection or just being paid to look the other way, but there seems to be something going on there.
Oh.
Well, I guess it's time for some reformation to happen within the guard.
They do go out of their way to do donations to the poor and proselytize in the lower income parts of town.
Well, the Whispered One that we've seen tends to gather villagers, or I guess in this case, town folk. So that would be a way to draw people in.
It would be a way to draw people in. It also could be a cover if they're, trying to conduct business in the seedier parts of town. That give them an excuse to be down there. I tried scouting the place, but the temple itself is heavily guarded day and night. They don't, from what I can tell, they don't do public services.
You couldn't just...
They do interview for new applicants, but and of course there's always the direct approach.
You couldn't just punch a few people in the face?
Well, I mean, I could, but since you guys were heading this way anyway, I figured I'd wait a day or two and see if you actually showed up on time to help. Since I've still been gathering, I didn't want to crack any heads until I knew I was cracking the right heads.
I mean, if you drink anyone on a table, you can find out pretty quickly, even without us.
Well, that's the thing. They don't come down here to drink. They basically hang out in the temple all day if they're not, out doing their thing. And the villagers are very hesitant to talk about them. I don't know if that's just because I'm a stranger or whether they got shit going.
I think your appearance just intimidates them.
Damn.
Or if they have any idea who you are,
Well,
that will
I
also
seriously doubt they
intimidate
know
people.
who I am. I work very hard to not look like myself. Don't see many, whoosy whatsits with this kind of tan. Thank you very much.
I mean, there's an entire clan of Dragonborn that are part of this, the nobility, so... Hey?
A group of them did leave about a week ago, I'm told, led by a woman who appears to be the leader of the local branch. Didn't hear much about her other than dark skin, blue robe.
So, are you suggesting we go after the detachment because it would be less guarded?
I have no idea where the detachment went. They were gone by the time I got here.
Okay.
And I would presume they left by boat, so it's not like we can track them very easily. My best guess is anything that would lead us to wherever the hell they're after would probably be in the temple itself. The question is, how do you want to go about that? I know and she does air quote here, smart people would want to do some kind of, cloak and dagger spycraft long-term thing, but, that'll take forever. And,
I like her.
people got places they gotta be. But at the same time, if we just storm the gates, that's going to piss. If the guards are in their pocket, like it sounds like, that makes us the bad guys, and then we just get ourselves arrested and don't learn anything.
Well, conveniently enough, you have someone who can basically tell the guards to shut off. It won't go too well for me, but I could technically get away with it.
The guards aren't Republic military. They're local. So you can't, neither one of us can really go around throwing our rank around without justification. and any justification we'd have is already is inside. Just like we can't get them to act against the temple without getting evidence, which would be inside.
But we can get them to ignore our existence as well, is what I'm saying.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if we can, because if they're already ignoring the temple's existence, that means that they might be in the temple's pocket, in which case, if the temple decides they don't like us, they could try to make a move on us through the guards. One I run into a lot, and I've spent my fair time in cells over, is harassment.
It's not good.
There's just a grin on Koda's face the entire time she's talking.
Because, how dare you poke around looking for bad guys,
I seriously question how you were the black sheep of your family.
Because I don't wear frilly dresses and, make cloak and dagger deals with letters with fancy wax seals on them, or sit in, fancy air-conditioned Senate chambers arguing about trade negotiations for 3 movies.
You would get along with the clan so much better than your family, it seems.
Of course, my sister's not much better. She just runs around with a dog all day, smiting monsters with a scythe, so take your pick.
Smiting monsters with a scythe, so she's a paladin?
No, ranger. Smite with a small s.
No, mate.
Oh, okay.
Itty bitty little s. For an itty bitty little girl. Don't tell her I said that.
Well, the only way I'll do that is if I could be challenged and willing to get drunk again, and I'll save that for another decade.
Oh, used up your one, huh?
It takes a lot of effort for me to get drunk. Like, I actively have to suppress my own ability to be drunk.
Oh, that sounds like a boost right there.
I'm a military man, literally trained by perfection to the point where I can do things that some would say is magic without magic. Now I'm doing magic and that.
I guess it's in between the military and the militia.
I don't know. Also, the fact that I have a short ton of worth of armor in 2 bags also kind of helps with the whole fact that between the military and militia. So I do need to take the time to fix that.
Well, if you're gonna do that, this town's capable.
Very true.
Okay, so
Back in the day, they were one of the leading productions for the Imperial mechs, but that was a long time ago.
yes, it was.
Most of that stuff's moved, west at this point.
Oh, damn it.
You know damn well the Imperial still, the Republic still uses mecha.
Yeah, I know. Just making comments.
And no, we're not going to the old factories where you just want to raise them down. It's probably a shelter for someone at this point.
I would possibly be hurting people if I did that.
No, they're still in use. They're just not mainstream anymore. They're more making like secondary parts and stuff. But the smiths here should still be able to do whatever you need.
Just because I don't like it doesn't mean I want to, kill people over it.
This person trying to destroy history earlier.
That was different.
That was then. This is now.
I died between now and then.
Yes, you did. I wasn't on the other side, by the way.
I'm afraid I can't talk about.
For
I'm afraid I can't talk.
less than 6 seconds
talk
that you
about
saw.
that because you don't have the same point of reference.
Fair enough.
Oh wait, so wait, you're saying I'm gonna have to die to discuss your views on death?
Hey Tibbs, do it.
What, two?
Like I said, fair enough.
Tibbs will just look at you like, I.
Meow?
I'm joking. That was completely as a player, but
Okay, I'm just making sure. What?
he was like, "Oh, you have to die. You have to talk with someone who died to be able to have that conversation. Why?" But I'll respect it. I won't push that topic. I'll still just make fun of him for being the supposed God King and it's apparently mortal.
The god what now?
Which is... Oh, nothing. I'm just poking fun at what he called himself a long time ago.
No, I'm good. Not
Clearly, clearly the great revelations a few days ago has had far less of an effect on you than it has on me.
Wait, y'all had revelations? Nobody tells me about revelations. I want to know about revelations.
Well, you would have had fun. You'd be very confused.
That's what else is new.
I'm still trying to process
Okay.
everything.
Dragons fought. Dragons made world. Dragons made orbs to help the world. Gods became a bit belligerent with one another, causing lots of bad stuff. Gods produced items to call forth the best of the world to help against evil. Gods sealed themselves away to prevent a similar mistake, and now we must fight the leftovers of evil.
And she'll scrunch up her face, like, take a swig. It's like, yeah, that sounds like that crap I used to get, told about in church. Kind of like a creation myth or something.
Yeah. Why do you think I wanted to get drunk for once in a decade?
Or you could just skip Sunday school.
It's kind of hard.
I can't use the term Sunday school if we actually have days of the week.
Wait till I reference my own world notes.
That is actually a good question. Let me pull that up because the calendar will say what it is.
Fucking snap to say.
I don't see days. I see months. Oh, there we go. So the equivalent of Sunday would be Sharday?
Yep. Chonday school.
You said John to school?
Chonday. Chauanday.
Oh, you're going with the whole Sunday
Yeah.
at the beginning of the week instead of Monday. Okay.
Chonday, Monday, happy days.
I should be Chonday, Sell Day, Helm Day. Good luck doing that song though, because it's a 10-day week.
Challenge accepted.
I just want to say it's kind of hard to skip Chonday when we have looks towards tips.
Because you have a cat? I had a cat for years and it didn't make... it looks at Ken, she's like, I had a cat for years. It didn't seem to cause that kind of problem for me. He glares at her.
My cat
Do
just...
you very know what he is?
He's a cat.
I'll say Tibbs will look him like, exactly. I'm a cat.
I don't know what
That
god you follow that
speaks.
requires you to, think a cat is holy, but I'm not judging.
I'm not saying he's holy. I'm just saying he's a cleric.
Your cat is a cleric.
Meow.
My cat hunts vampires for a living, so whatever.
Technically, it's not their cat.
Like I said, no judgment.
Your cat hunts, looks at Kenshi.
It's not what it sounds like.
I don't know, it sounds pretty badass.
Uh-huh.
Her mom took me in and trained me in how to hunt monsters. We are kind of by virtue like adoption family, but she doesn't call me family, she calls me her cat. As a joke, she gave me that amulet you see me use that actually lets me get to be about Tibb's size.
Wondered about that.
Considering what I'm supposed to be
I'm not
smiting.
judging.
I'll say if this vampire wasn't literally like the first vampire ever, this would be a step down.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm not judging. I'm just questioning.
So,
Your history is your history. There's no reason to judge people's history. Unless you do things that I'm not going to comment on.
Wayfair.
Things. That's a very awkward and nebulous word, things.
I don't feel... Well, that is something for him to discuss. Because I don't discuss other people's personal
I
history.
identify as a me, thank you.
Oh god, do I have to start putting like gender labels on y'all's fucking minis now? Like that one guy?
No, we really don't need to. I joke because my pog is different.
How long are you going to maintain an illusion?
That's not an illusion, he just does that.
Oh, he can't? I thought that he was just using
No,
illusion.
no, he's a kitsune, he's just using shape-shifting.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. That makes more sense.
Or alter self, or whatever.
You know what? Can't argue.
So, Rasmadan, or whatever it's called.
I think it was Razmir.
Rasmir.
Though I do prefer Razmataz. That's
Does he have jazz hands?
No, like I said, haven't been inside yet.
So you said they were recruiting, which I know is a method you don't want to necessarily do, and we may be rooted out because we can't do sufficiently evil things.
Well, you know, I don't want to do it.
Learn
Doesn't mean you guys can't do it.
Well, it'd be nice to have you along. I mean, you drank crib under the table, so you can handle just about anything.
Well, yeah, that's beside the point. This is something you guys were pursuing. I didn't want to step on any toes. Well, currently. Because we're not fighting. If we were fighting, I'd totally step on your toes and you'd hate it.
So, I have a couple thoughts. We could sneak in using their clothing. You said it was heavily guarded, so their shifts are pretty tight? And did you notice any arcane wards?
I'm no good with that magic shit, so no. Usually I just punch and it's solved. Let's see, temple, Let's see, what I scouted out, the temple lies near the center of town, surrounded by a number of local businesses and the rich part of town with the fancy houses. Got a decent presence of city guard considering it's the rich part of town. Temple itself takes up roughly a block, so pretty damn big building if you ask me. The locals pay it for blessings. One of the local business types did tell me that they've actually done wonders for the crime rate in town, because they drag the offending parties inside and beat them into rehabilitation.
Yeah, sure, that's what happens.
See, people are coming and going at all hours. They're usually moving in groups of 6 or more. They've all got the same creepy iron masks. Once a day, they do come out to do a big speech in the town square. Where they get very aggressive in collecting alms.
If only one of us could turn into a coin.
What, that's not in your bag of tricks?
Oh, I could, I just don't want to.
But you didn't say that who would do it. You just said if one of us could do it.
I like the way he said that. I could do that, but I'm.
And by that measure, because you could cast that, I'm pretty sure you could turn any of us into that.
So they don't specify, So it's reasonably well guarded. And there's enough foot traffic in and out that I'm pretty sure they could raise an alarm for fairly quickly.
Okay, if that's the case, if we can get a good view through a window, a building of that size has to have nice, pretty windows.
It does, but it's also got a wall.
Oh, so it's legitimately fortified.
It is. They take up a whole city block, and they put a decent. I wouldn't say it's a castle wall, but it's better than a garden wall around it, with parapets on it. Those little towers up that go in the corners where people can look down at you and shoot arrow thingies through the little holes.
Ah.
I
So
hate
does it also have
So
crenellations?
it's not a castle wall, but it's basically a fortress.
It's a temple with again, it's not a castle wall, but it's better than a normal wall.
Okay. So we should not then have to worry about
Fortress is a bit much, but
we should not have to worry about anything like matriculations.
you go what?
It lets you shoot like pretty much in a downwards arc from a wall.
The murder holes. Yeah, I didn't see any of those from the outside.
How tall was the wall?
About 2 stories.
You know what? We could be
So, 40
overthinking
feet.
this.
So yeah, so somewhere between 30 and 40 feet.
You know what we could do?
I could get over it, but again, since I don't know what's on the other side.
And Aurora here may like this idea. We could be thuggish and be brought in with them doing their duty. Then of course we'd be able to see what they're about to do to us, stop them from doing it, question them, and then stop them.
I don't know if they're still doing that, just because they said they cut down on crime in the area. So I don't know if they're people are. I'm pretty sure the people who were doing crime in that area have moved on.
I'm just gonna give this look of incredulity. Incredulity.
Also, I don't think the lizard guy likes that idea.
I said I thought you'd like it, not he'd like it.
Yes, ask the person who literally is the military of the country to break the laws that he upholds. Yes, please, let's do that. Like, that's going to be a good idea.
Good point. I could make you not you. That might help. But okay, do you have any other ideas? I mean, there's the recruitment. They have a wall, so getting in through anything but the front gate would be difficult unless you want me to try teleporting
I
through a
can
wall.
carry you guys. I can literally carry y'all up that wall.
Oh,
It's not
yeah, but
that
I'm
hard.
talking about being seen and then raising an alarm and yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, ultimately they'll raise an alarm anyway because, you know.
I say they do have guards on the wall.
That's why I'm trying to figure out a way to initially enter legitimately.
If you want to legitimately enter, the only thing I've been able to come up with is the fact that they're recruiting. Unless you just want to try mugging one of the random parties that goes out every day, you know, at all hours. But
Hmm. I don't know. I can do mugging, but probably a Call of the Whispered one. Probably.
the way I see it, we got
So
three options. We can sneak in, we can storm the gates, or we can try some spy crap. You know, pretend, you know, in some way or fashion, pretending to be, you know, one of them and getting in that way.
I'm okay with the direct approach, but you know, I'm military. You want me to be sneaky? You're asking the wrong person.
Really, most of the military men I've
I
met
mean,
are very sneaky.
I run around in armor that weighs a ton most of the time.
Especially when they think I'm still asleep.
I can't help the average person has a lower standard than what I have for myself.
Okay. You know what? I will be back.
Cool, you do that. Meantime, I'm gonna see what Reverend Fuzzybottom thinks we should do.
What I'm going to do when I'm going to leave is I'm going to see if I can get a good look at one of these um, Resmadan,
Razmir?
Rasmir um, folk. I'm not going to knock them out or anything. I just want to get a good look at them.
Well, you see a couple groups moving about. Some dressed in white robes, one or two dressed in gray and black robes. Again, they all wear the same iron, you know, plain face iron mask.
Does judging by how they are walking, does one color seem superior to the others?
The darker the color, the higher the rank would seem to be the case, just based on the numbers in the group.
Okay, and
With the white robes being the lowest, yeah, and most plentiful,
okay, and you said white, gray.
and black. You've heard, you know, Aurora mentioned that there were some blue robes in existence, but all your, you know, those seem to be reserved to like the leadership.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'd like this name for him, Reverend Fuzzy Bottom.
So while you're looking around, you know, she'll lean across the table towards Tib. It's like, all right, kitty. What does the great Lord say we should do about handling this?
Hmm. There's a part of me that wants to be the guy who has some sort of spell to make it sound like God's talking, and then there's
You could always do thaumaturgy or whatever that cantrip is, because that's technically what does that. But that'd be very rude inside of a building.
The Skype call dropped, so I missed about 30 seconds of what you said before. Before he called me. Before I was called Lord Fluffy Bottoms, apparently.
That's a
Or
Aurora
something.
called you Reverend Fluffy Bottoms and was asking what what you thought the Lord God would want you to do. What you missed was David going outside and trying to find a group of the cultists so we can get an idea what their uniforms were like.
Oh, okay. Cool. Hold on. Okay, I was wondering. I was like, what the fuck kind of? Do you have music playing through? Hey.
Yes, there is music playing.
Apparently, yeah. I can
Okay.
feel the music there. Does that make?
No, I'm not gonna say no. It's you okay? You okay? Good. All right. Don't fall.
Card.
Don't fall.
What is it?
Sorry. All right. I am going to. There you go. Yeah, the whole arm. She's essentially going to be our guide, correct?
She hasn't said as such. She's waiting on you guys to decide how you want to handle this.
Okay. She knows I'm a cleric.
Well,
Been
she
told
knows
as much.
She's been told you're a cleric. She's kind of disbelieving right now, but
Okay.
She doesn't know you speak though, because you spoke.
she's like, okay, they believe he's a cleric. I'm not judging. I don't necessarily buy that he's a cleric, but if they think something's up, I'm not gonna.
So much mana.
I mean, when I can watch him resurrect the dead, it's kind of hard to say he's not a cleric.
Which is fair. She just hasn't seen it, so she's like, okay, they think he's up something. They think something's up. They think it's a cleric. It could be something else.
Can a paladin resurrect people?
I think a pretty high level one can, yeah.
You got to be like super high level
think
just
they
to be
get
able to
revived.
do
They make it
what they.
revived.
I think they get revivify.
Yeah, I'm about to say they can pretty much do at like 20th level what I can do at like
Yeah,
6.
because they're half casters.
Can I come back about now, or
After Brian gives whatever his
I'm gonna say Tibbs is going to look at her. He is going to. I'm going to throw my voice.
coming out of Genshin? Can she?
I'm gonna throw my voice to make it sound like it's coming from over her shoulder.
As she elbows the air and knocks the air out.
She knocks out the atmosphere. Everyone starts choking.
I like the stunning strike the air.
I'm gonna say I'm going to use thaumaturgy in order to make this kind of booming godlike noise behind her. Behind her back. Not like ridiculously loud, but obviously sounding like omniscient-ish. And I will have it say my.
Steals your game.
Say we'll do the this one's duty is to smite evil wherever it resides.
She'll kind of jump a little bit, look back over her shoulder, see nothing, look back at you, look back over her shoulder, look back at you.
I'll smirk.
Told you.
Her eyes narrow for a moment. She makes like the little, finger eye, I'm watching you gesture. And as she does that, you hear her in your head, I'm watching you.
Oh.
Telepathy.
Right. Gotcha. Got it. Okay.
I was like, human, remember?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Oh, sweet. So she can do telepathy.
She is one of Because humans are the only ones who can take silent classes. She took a silent class.
Sweet. So she shouldn't be surprised if I say, hell, she should have just read my mind earlier and just been like, oh shit, he's
All
actually a
telepathy
cleric.
lets you do is communicate. It doesn't let you read.
That would be the tech thought.
Yeah, that's detect thought. So
And detect thought is not psionic. That's something that any wizard can do.
Is the
Sorcerers can too, technically.
is the line of communication still open, or
if you think at her, she can she can hear it. Yeah.
okay? The then continue watching. You will see a great many miracles.
Okay, the plushie convinced me. Where are we? What are we doing?
I told you.
You'll forgive me for not entirely trusting what you're saying, given how hammered you were 5 minutes ago.
I'm a monk.
So am I. Your point?
It'd take a lot. Being drunk is a temporary thing for me. That's very short.
I understand that, but you were still compromised at the time you said it.
Is she
No.
drunk? She poisoned.
And need I remind you that someone literally cast a spell to remove said condition.
Yeah, I understand that. I was there. I saw it. I'm not telling you it didn't happen. I saw it happen.
No, and I'm back.
And you have a dick again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Mayor.
yeah. So, I had to have one if I wanted to make these. I will put a bag on the, provided there's no food, plates of food on the table. I will put a bag and slightly open it to reveal five white robes and Iso's plate.
Like a metal, kind of like Cobra Commander mask.
Plate, Cobra la 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 la, masks, like that of what the local churchgoers are wearing.
She'll look at it like, you need a dick to go shopping? I hate to break it to you, mate. You're doing it wrong.
No, I think he decided just to go mug someone while we were talking.
See how well you think of me.
Which
Chris.
would be impressive given that...
I didn't have to beat anyone up for this. You haven't lied to me besides wanting to destroy history, so I'll take it. From what I can tell, the white ones are of a lower tier. The gray one is of a slightly higher tier. Though I see I only have whites here. Figure that means if we make any mistakes, then it can be, put on the fact that we're low tier white robe rookies.
Still have one problem with this plan of yours, Kodo.
Is it that I have a dick?
I am the... No. I'm the only Dragonborn for hundreds of miles at least.
Aurora, have they been shown to be discriminatory?
I don't know. They all wear masks
Well, yeah, but
and robes.
if you're a Goliath, you probably have the stature of a Goliath.
They got the... She'll be just kind of making random gestures of height with her hands. Like, they got the big ones and the small ones, and some as big as your head. I mean, they all look the same to me!
Oh, that's not very nice, Aurora.
They look unpunched.
Okay, that is a fact. I can't defend against that. There's only two kinds of
One of these-
people in this world. The
punched and the
the
unpunched.
punched and the unpunched.
She has a very simplistic viewpoint on life.
I almost want to brawl, like do a training fight against her at some point.
Can you find a guess who?
Aurora.
It's a chaotic good. I see
Or
two
she's
types of people.
Oh,
Those that need to be punched and those that don't need
Exactly.
to be punched.
I'll slightly lean across the table. Well, Sir Krev, if you couldn't be you, who would you want to be?
You're asking one of the more prideful people to not be what he is probably.
You know what my bag of tricks are. A little bit of fire over here. Well, actually, not so much fire. A little bit of frost over here. A little bit of misdirection over there. You would be you, as far as you know.
What kind of magic are you just trying to use and convince me to allow you to use?
You're gonna have to speak up. Or get closer to the mic.
I'll just adjust the headset so you can hear me better. But what kind of magic are you trying to use or have an excuse to use?
The same kind of magic that made me not have a dick. But you can keep yours, though. Aurora started it. I just had a better comeback when she first brought it up. No, I mean, she's not wrong.
I'm too prideful for this. Just know.
Oh, so
They're all just casting greater invisibility on me.
well, I've heard that there are certain small animals that can get around that.
Well, we're in the middle of the city. I doubt those certain small animals really exist here. Courtesy of your description of why you hate machines.
I may just like machines, but that doesn't mean I'm genocidal. Animals are fine.
I didn't say it involved genocide. Industrialization pushes nature away. Thus, animals will not be in this area unless they're domesticated animals.
Oh god, that makes me kind of sound like Poison Ivy.
Yep. Not a super villain, I'm just an eco-terrorist.
So, why are you trying to insinuate such things?
I think we're getting a bit off topic. I just wanted to come up with a plan to go in there with as little of an issue as possible, so we can the information, perhaps punch a few people, and undo the clearly nefarious whispered stuff going on.
I'd rather just take the direct approach. Because the direct approach involves punching more people.
This almost sounds like it's a contest on who wants to impress Aurora more, and I'm sure she doesn't necessarily want that.
Hey, I'm not trying to do that. You might be,
Oh,
but
no,
that's your own prerogative.
no,
I'm just...
I know her well enough that I don't need to impress her.
I'm just acknowledging the fact that me and being stealthy tend to not go together, as we've all seen several times.
I could render you invisible, you're right. Which means we have an extra robe. I guess it's time for Tibbs to put a robe on.
What? What?
That would be adorable to watch.
It's time for Tibbs to cover what?
It's time for Tibbs to get a robe on.
You know, wear the vestments of your clergy.
I don't know if they have robes for cats.
Totally. If they have thunder shirts for cats, they have robes for cats.
As I can tell you, based on what I see around Halloween time, yes, they have smoking jackets for cats.
Those poor cats. Poor cats. I hope they call their parents.
I won't lie, I would totally do it. But I would have it match a cosplay of doing it.
What cat actually wears
Honestly, that's the
clothes?
thing. I don't know how you get the cat in it, but
I'm trying to think of a cosplay with a cat who wears clothes.
Are you trying to find a reason to bring a cat to con?
Yoroichi?
Yeah, Yoroichi, Artemis did for a little bit. Gigi.
You mean like a neckerchief?
Stuff.
I mean, yeah, like you can put a handkerchief around them.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we can find a tailor to make that a thing.
Oh. So, how does it sound then? All of us, sans Pride over here, puts on these robes and these masks. We walk in while he's invisibly behind us, and we will find out what's going on and how many people we need to punch.
Oh my god.
You know, I'm just imagining Fat Cat from Rescue Rangers here.
That poor cat looks so mad. I mean, then again, Tibbs is already wearing a backpack. It wouldn't be that far out to put a robe on him too.
I was hoping for Tibbs just to be a cat for this, as those are, you know, ubiquitous.
I mean, technically, couldn't I just hide underneath one of your robes?
Well, yeah, but I thought you'd be afraid I would eat you if you want to be under mine.
I mean, I could probably blow you up if you tried to do anything.
No, if he tries to eat anyone, it's going to be me because I smell like grease and he hates anything machine related. As has been proven multiple
Don't bring up the
times.
pestilence fight.
Well, I'll say, keep in mind, if I am underneath your robe and if you try to eat me, I will be in physical contact with you, and I could just inflict wounds on you.
I'm not really going to eat you, Tibbs.
Sounds exactly like what the God King would say right before he eats a cat.
Not that kind of evil.
So you're putting yourself in the category of evil, though.
What if you're talking about the God King?
Hmm.
Do you want to pick up a book?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure you destroyed all of them, especially relating to that era.
The guy from the Cobalt Soul has shown otherwise.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on you to keep it that way too.
Okay, I will just continue.
Because you like to proceed with the
I'll
book
just
burning.
continue to be in a good mood until I convince you otherwise. Seriously.
It'll take a lot of effort to convince me to not do the thing that my state told me to do.
What am I? Am
I don't think
some sort of standing order for the Republic?
No, I have a standing order.
Ah. Well,
I'm a military man. I'm not a generic hero, but I guess fate has said otherwise on that one now.
so the last big revelations did have an effect on you. Good.
Yeah. I told you. I was still thinking it over.
Oh, I don't mind.
It's not like I've had a few centuries and change to be able to know how to define life-changing events in a matter of a day and a half.
For many before the city was here. Years.
I'm not trying to say how old you are.
I had been trying to cope and walk away with the things that I did to become better. For that time, I was never sure if I was quite on the right path. The live stream has shown me that my efforts have in fact not been for naught. I'm not sure if you can comprehend how that can make someone feel.
Can I roll insight to understand it?
Sure. Disadvantage though.
What, because cryptic?
Yeah.
I want you to know it would have been a 20.
I want you to know what I could have rolled. But disadvantage actually worked.
I want you to know. Fuck you.
Man, I'm waiting for this roll. It's gonna be nice. I hope. I hope it's gonna be nice. I didn't roll a 20.
Roll 20 does not like me. But you know what? The monk who does self-reflection every day. It's very insightful.
Okay, 22. Is that enough to decryptify what I said?
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, Kodo has always questioned whether he was in fact making any headway with what he was doing for essentially kind of repenting and changing himself from when he was a God King. And the conversation with Arya and the live stream pretty much validated to him that that over the centuries he has at least been on the right path.
I'm glad I kind of thought that to begin with. But because it made the insight roll, I would just go philosophically like a psychologist into your thoughts and everything and espouse it to everyone.
Hey, you're confusing Aurora.
I wasn't going to make an assumption that I was confusing her. She is herself. And she can say whether or not she's confused. I'm not trying to confuse
Aurora
anyone.
checked out the moment you two got off task.
Figured.
Okay, so
But let's.
You're talking philosophy, not punching. Therefore, I don't care.
So yeah, Rose points at Kriv, invisible, makes walking motion with his fingers, walk in.
Okay, you don't need to make hand signs. I'm not that dumb.
Now that was everyone, not just you.
None of us are that dumb. You're just being.
I've got an intelligence of 15, thank you.
Man, I got a wisdom of 10.
I have an intelligence of 12 or 13. I can't remember off the top of my head.
my intelligence is actually 14.
Actually, no. I have a +2. I have a 14.
I have an
Or 15.
intelligence.
I have an intelligence, but I can't remember what it is.
So, what do people think of that plan?
I'm sorry. I'm not at my computer, and intelligence is my lowest score. It's a 15.
A 15 is my low score, guys. Nice scores.
Yeah, I took a bunch of feats to get the certain stats to be good.
No, seriously, good, yes.
I'm intelligent. I'm just not as intelligent as everyone else.
I believe we probably have the same intelligence.
But, so, what do people think of the plan?
Sounds like it could work
I'm good with it.
if you're confident in your bluffing skills.
And if we fail, then we can punch people. Don't do it on purpose.
We just have to be careful not to fail at the wrong time.
Thanks,
because
Gus.
it's always the chance that they can destroy evidence.
Well, I mean, that's a risk regardless of what method we use.
Oh, I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying if we fail early enough where they have a chance to run up and burn whatever, we have to be on point if we fail.
True.
How long does greater invisibility last?
It lasts up to a minute, though I can extend that by a little bit.
Define a little bit.
Let me bring out my meta magics.
And
When you
speaking of our time
cast a
frame,
spell of a duration of 1 minute or longer, you can spend one sorcery point to double its duration to a maximum duration of 24 hours.
okay. So how large is the building, Aurora?
Well, the complex takes up an entire block, and having not been over the wall, I can only guess, but the complex looked like it was more building than garden or anything.
Well, what's the size of the wall? That should give you an idea of the size of the building.
Well, like I said, the wall is about 2 stories
Yeah.
tall and encompasses the entire block. I can see a little bit of the building over the wall.
Okay, so 2 to 3 stories.
How big is the block?
City block?
It's a city block. Yeah.
It's like, you've been to all the Republic cities, it's like that, except one building.
Well,
Breaking character for a
Depending
moment.
on the
Breaking
city.
character for a moment as the GM. They just tell me it's a block. So big.
well, I'm trying to figure that out because technically, if I have 2 minutes of invisibility at the speed of a monk,
At the speed of a monk, you would probably you'd be able to run around 2 sides, maybe.
But keep in mind, I could be refreshing the cast without need of components as we go. Because I'm a Kitsune and invisibility is and illusion's my bag. So.
no, I absolutely understand that. I'm just saying it in the sense of if things failed, I have X amount of time to cover X amount of distance, assuming that just because I would be the fastest character to try to prevent it.
But you can only predict so much until we actually see this, see the inside. Because until we have an idea of what the interior layout is, we don't know how hard or fast it is to cover.
True. Well, I'm fine with this.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay. Considering the time.
I don't want Principal. I would like to repair my armor before we do
I was
this.
about to say,
Even if I don't wear
sounds
it.
like then, if Kriv wants to take time to get his shit done, you're going to want to probably do this either. Given the amount of work he needs done on his armor, you're probably going to need a day of downtime.
Okay. And I believe it was approaching.
I'd say stuff. He could drop it off tonight, and they'd need a day to work on it.
Okay.
Because your things have not closed yet, but they are starting to shut down.
And given that there's no specifically military republic here, then it's in all likelihood I will not want to leave military technology with
Well, as Aurora
non-military
says,
people.
the people here are certified to work on the armor.
I mean in the sense of not that they can't work on it.
It's not classified technology or
In a
anything,
sense.
it's just complicated.
It's kind of like a tank. Everyone knows what a tank is. They roughly know how a tank works, but that doesn't mean that they can work on a tank.
Or like a gun. It's like, we know what it is, we have a rough idea of how it works, and it's not too hard to get training to work on them, but...
No, I understand that. I just mean in the sense of just because of what it means, I wouldn't want to just.
That's it, because they're not going to want you to sit there babysitting them while they work on it.
There'd be a discussion, but eventually I would relent on that.
And so the Smiths here are, royally certified and all that, so they have the government's trust, if that's what you're worried about.
I imagine it's like framed somewhere in their establishment.
So just because they don't do it here anymore doesn't mean that they don't still have the skills and training and certifications.
No, I understand. I'm not trying to argue that. I'm just like, he would just want to be there.
Yeah, your character would know that in world, very few professionals, like in the real world, very few professionals like you standing there breathing down their neck while they're working.
No, like I said, I understand. That's why I said it would be a discussion before, and eventually he would relent. Because there's going to be questions when they see that armor. Because what was it like? Basically, one step from being completely
It was
destroyed.
severely damaged, yeah. But at the same time, you're an adventurer, so.
Good night, Gardner. I'm an adventurer, and then when they see the military stuff
Yeah.
on it.
Okay. Well, this should last a good 12 hours. If not, I can always make more. So,
12 hours for
For the
what now?
robes he made.
I can always make more.
I'd say it's going to take basically one work day to do the repairing if you want to do that.
Okay.
If you don't want to do that, then you guys can just go whenever. Though Aurora
I'm
would
not
probably
gonna
still
be
advise
worried
doing
here.
it in the morning, considering travel time and all that. You guys might want to rest up, and if you guys have to re-prepare spells or something for the what you're doing. Because if your cat is a cleric, he may not have brought the right spells today.
Depends.
He doesn't know what you have prepped, and neither does the GM. That's the GM offering you a chance to re-prep whatever spells based on the plan you guys have decided.
Okay.
Because it seems like these
what
guys
do
aren't going
pe-
anywhere. So if you take a night to rest and re-prep, you're probably still be fine.
Okay. I must say, if I remember correctly, it is cleric level plus wisdom modifier.
Yeah,
Is my
you do
math?
cleric level plus wisdom modifier.
Alright. So do people think I'm gonna need to do more damage, or am I gonna have to save more people?
Well, I would keep one or two damaging spells in your pocket. Because we are dealing with the cult, at least someone associated with the cult of the Wizard One, I would imagine. Which means, abominations a number of people trying to hit us. So how about this? A third offense and the rest healing.
Mm. Mm.
And just to state this, says I don't say this very often. Tristan, you get a key point.
So you always need calm emotions in case he
now
goes
that you know
nuts.
that works.
When the party has to prepare for itself. It's like,
To be
why?
fair, I
Because
think-
you always go down.
I think any smart party should prepare for itself. Because if you can, as I've learned from experience, if you can beat yourself, you can beat anything.
True, though it does make it a lot less cinematic if you can just Batman shut down your party.
I mean, at least I can't be taking control of. Well, correction, I can be taking control of, but as soon as it's my turn, I can spend an action to negate Charmed and Frightened. So I believe Suggestion and Command fall under Charmed.
I believe they're enchantments, yeah.
One of them does. I think the other one uses some kind of weird wording loophole.
Mm. So depending on how the spell is worded, a lot of the ones that would make me not be in control.
Because like charm person doesn't take away your control. It just
Yeah.
makes you really friendly to the person.
Yeah, it's like they become your best friend.
Yeah.
They cannot compel you to do anything that you would absolutely not do. That being said, dominate.
No, I was talking about the other one because it's the charmed effect.
Yeah, like dominate. You'd work against dominate. I think there's a power that actually takes control of your body rather than your mind, which obviously is not charm.
So what that is.
It works on 99% of the things. I think there's like one or two that are just worded badly enough that they get around it, but. But that said, it sounds like you have a plan. It sounds like you're going to wait for Tibbs to reorient. Are you going to wait for the repairs too, or just go? Grib.
Sorry, I was talking to God. So I did not hear that.
It sounds like you guys are going to give Tibbs the overnight to refresh his spells. You going to want to wait the day for your armor, or just leave your armor with the person and come back for it later, or...
I'm not going to be wearing the armor, so we don't need to wait on it. I just need to take it to them.
You want to drop it off tonight and just have them working on it tomorrow?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we can do that. They wouldn't want me sitting over their shoulder anyways.
It's a tiny forge, man. There's only, there's not enough room. All right.
The damage is to the point where
The damage is to the point where I can't do it.
Okay. So, in which case, it sounds like you guys will be going in the morning. However, I'm going to call the session here. As you guys are going to get involved in some complicated stuff, so it might be a good idea to have everybody at least close to 100%, i.e. fresh when we start.
Yeah, that's Adam.
Yeah, that's Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can understand that.
And yeah, I can understand that.
So, yeah, I am calling the session here, folks. Ending about half an hour early.
No worries for me.
I'd rather
understand the complications
of the
encounter.
encounter
Yeah, so
more
As
fully.
much as I would love to go on, I do think we would need
yeah,
one.
it's like I'd rather have everyone at least have an improved chance of everybody actually paying attention.
Because, as you know, I'm being listening to people
Yeah.
talking.
Everybody's got
talk
stuff
to
going
guys.
on.
I mean, I don't mind continuing to talk to you guys for the next half an hour or so, but I'd like to at least stop the session.
Well,
Yeah.
I do actually appreciate the entire live stream Arya conversation, considering how that's affected Kodo.
Well, I'm glad you got as much out of that as you did, because I wasn't.
Well,
I was content with what happened up to that point. I couldn't really think of something to directly question.
Well, you may have more questions after actually reading out the explained version.
Yeah, the explained version, where instead of just what I understand
Or
of it,
or it's
might
not
help.
flowery prose and it just spells everything out.
Yeah, it's like I tried to gather what extra information I could. Maybe I just wasn't asking the right questions, or what probably is more rightfully what's happening. Is that we can just only get so much information.
It's partly you can only get so much information, partly not asking the right questions, and partly the live stream only knows what's the stuff that the people inside it know. So if he hasn't killed people off, for example, but converted them, then they're not in it, therefore they don't know.
Right. Well, I was hoping for something like, because I didn't expect the questions thing, because I was hopefully expecting something like the last scene between Matthias and a person going, "What? But that wasn't the deal. You were supposed to yada 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 because I gave you the MacGuffin device." And Matthias gonna be all evil and be like, "Yes, that's true, but I'm altering the deal."
Mm.
Which I was trying.
You were expecting more
yeah.
cutscene type material, yeah.
Yeah. Because I was like, the live stream's here. I wonder if we can creatively use it to try to get information. Which I did, but the only piece of information we really got is
There's apparently some crazy guy locked up in a dungeon somewhere.
I was more thinking of the place he considers himself living is, what was it, misty, cold, and desolate.
It was a place that was covered in mist so thick you couldn't see through it, and the mist invoked a feeling of despair within you.
Yeah.
Oh, I already know where that area is.
I thought I was pretty blatant about that.
correction.
Oh,
I know.
it is. I'm just... David knows.
And that the live stream has no power there.
I feel like anyone, if you explain that to them, would tell you, yeah, that's the half the continent.
That said, you've done it.
If you go
You've
north.
done it once and have an idea of how it works. You can attempt to go in there again and ask more, and get more stuff. Just you won't have her protecting you, which means the saving throws will be different.
True. And I didn't want to abuse that, which is why I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I got my 7 minutes. It's time for the session to move on.
But yeah, if after you read the thing again, if more questions occur to you, we can. I don't mind retconning a couple of them into your little excursion, or you can make another attempt, depending.
Well, I do have a question. Considering what the live stream is, do I need to be at the dreaming pool to make such an excursion, or can I
No.
do it anywhere because the live stream is?
You can do it anywhere because the live stream is. It's just that is one of the dreaming pool is one of the sites on the continent where the live stream is physically present, that you can see it, you can interact with it.
Okay.
There are other sites like that around the continent, or given that the live stream is more metaphysical than it is physical. Because anytime you cast magic, if you roll a magical fumble, you run a risk of interacting with the live stream. It's kind of like the Fade that way.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll just be there to slap whatever decides to possess Kodo's body.
Oh, so yeah, if I'm going to do something like that, I will need probably Kriv or Kenshi with me, because I know how Kodo acts around you, Kriv, but he does. You are a powerful being. You're no yokai, but you are a powerful being.
I'm pretty sure I can fight a yokai
And he would
win.
trust you